I think. Yep, we're live.
Wow, decent.
What I'll do is I'll quickly whip over. Make sure that
it's hard to manage your
silenced. And see if people are joining. Got a like already. Happy days.
6 watching, 2 likes.
Oh, has it come up on yours, is it?
No, on YouTube this is. There we go.
Oh no, you've got the viewers in the corner of this as well.
Have we?
Yes. Anyway, look, we're talking to each other. Hello, people.
Motorcycle Wild Camper. Hi, guys. There we go.
You're going to have to forgive us. Got a new system we're operating today because Google Hangouts is no more. So let me introduce you to my old cocker, Bruce.
Hi, guys. You all right? How is everybody? Everyone enjoying themselves, getting out lots?
It's been pretty nuts, hasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
You must be climbing the walls.
No, I've actually quite enjoyed the time, just like chilling out. At a time, I had a chance to tidy up my spare room, got that leather stuff done, tidied up my shed. I've been tidying up my garden, so then it's just going through sorting out kit. So much needed. I've had such a busy past year. It's been crazy.
Hello, Lofa. How you doing?
Hi, Lofa X.
It's I'm trying to keep my brain occupied more than anything, and I found a very good way. It's a bit like doing Sudoku. I've got to try and remember which kid I've given the dead leg to and on which leg, so I don't do the same one twice.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I like that.
A lot of kids.
Yeah.
Hey up, Sean. Hey up, Chris. Thank you very much, Chris. I was proper impressed with the music that we made knocked up for that. It really did make me chuckle, so I'm glad you appreciate it, mate.
It's brilliant, that video. It really made me giggle.
How do people come up with stuff like that in like half hour?
I don't know.
Well, probably an hour or so.
Yeah, but it is quite. It does get stuck in your head a little bit as well, doesn't it? You end up sort of humming it. Like...
All these kids' music on his channel, because he actually writes music, but puts kids' lyrics to it. And there's one of them there called Dinosaur Disco, and it is just constantly stunning my bleeding house. Cannot get away from it. Even the wife.
Yeah, you showed me a link to that the other day. Yeah.
Motorcycle Wild Camper, he's been out zeroing his air rifle, and that's about it. Been terrible, isn't it?
Yeah, my garden's not big enough to play with air rifles or slingshots or bows and arrows.
Well, it's like camping in the garden, like we were saying the other day. My garden at the moment is all prepared, ready for me to lay AstroTurf. So, and I've only got one post that I can hang a hammock from. So, I'm screwed.
So, did anyone do the Great British Camp Out the other night?
I know that Dave Outdoors is doing it this weekend. I think Mez did.
Yeah.
And maybe Sandy.
Yeah. I know Mike Smith did it because he put it on Facebook. You probably don't even know. He's got a channel, but you probably don't know him.
Right. Hello there, Michael. Quick one for you, just so you know what's coming up in a bit. Bruce has got a decent quiz book, so it's How to Survive, is it? Survival quiz.
Survival quiz. Look at that. Check
so we're going to chuck some questions at you, and see how fucking dense we all are, eh?
Yeah. Unfortunately, you're not allowed to give the right answer because that's no fun.
I've ate too much, so I'm fuller than a fat lass's shoe. I like that. Matt Blythe, no more stunts this week. Do you know what? Never say never. I tried to flip up onto my feet from my shoulders, and I proper crooked my neck. I couldn't move my head for days. It weren't good. How do Camp Live Bruce Craft? So that's the thing. I was going to. I'm not sure if I sent you a thing. You know, a couple of years ago, I made those hammock stand that come off my car.
Hang on. You were just you were seizing up. What are you saying? Say again.
Do you remember a couple of years ago I made those hammock stands that came off the wheel of my car?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I was going to camp out the front in them. And I was looking through Amazon. Some company's making them.
Ugh. Have they?
Now,
Have they
they were a big company. I ain't saying they fucking ignored. Definitely not. They was probably making them before I come up with it. But 200 quid that's flogging them for.
You could have retired, Nobby.
I definitely couldn't. They cost me about that a make. Hey up, Michael Sanderson.
No, so
Yeah,
it doesn't look like any of these guys. Oh, I did a camp. Now my girls won't let me take the tarp down in the living room. Samuel Ware.
Well, I've just taken down Camp Nobby. Obviously, I've got the camp nest and that back, and I was so tempted to put a little shelter up.
Yeah, see, my back garden is all concrete, so I can't ground roll, I can't pitch a tent, so it's got to be hammocks. But I haven't really got room for a hammock either, so I've got to have a bit of a jiggery pokery and move stuff around.
Well, tomorrow I will have sorted that right out. I'm determined. Yeah. I'm going all au naturel and building a hammock stand out of fallen timber from the Bleeding Woods.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
What could possibly go wrong, Bruce?
Gravity, probably.
How dare you? What's everyone drinking tonight? I've got a Crony to start.
I've got an empty glass.
Then I'll be smacking into some mead. Oh yeah. Costa del Basildon.
Costa del Basildon, you're near me.
There you go, Bruce. That's one for you. Foraging water.
Right. So, if what you're in like an estuary or just normal tidal, as in the sea where the waves break, Joey. Because there's things like Sampha, there's sea aster. Virtually everything that grows in the sea is edible. There isn't really anything poisonous that I know of. Sea beet, that's a really good one. That's what beetroot and sugar beet and all of that is related to. So you can dig it up and get the root. It's actually really sweet, and then it's got like a bitter aftertaste, like tastes like hairspray. It's just like, but you can cook that up. It's like a really hard carrot kind of thing. Not that you should dig anything up, guys. You shouldn't unroot anything. And the leaves on a sea beet as well are like spinach. So, but when me and Nobby did the camp, I was looking everywhere for sea beet. I was like, yes, sea beet, that's the one I want. It went bloody anywhere, was it? No,
we did have something beginning with C.
No, we're going with an S. Yeah. Mystery meat.
Yeah, I can't wait to get out again. Do my bleeding head in.
Yeah.
Anyone got any questions they want? Any comments they want to make? Anything they'd like to see? Not that we can bleed and do anything. Bruce is a master of making stuff. I can make stuff. Look at that. Told him a beer. Another one for you there, Bruce.
Best advice for sharpening a knife. Get a Lansky knife sharpening set because that sets the angle for you. It depends how blunt it is as well. Otherwise, get a whetstone, a water whetstone, rather than putting oil on it. Something about 800 grit. You wouldn't need anything more than that. And then give it a good strop.
So keep working knife, and when it goes blunt, buy another.
Yeah, buy more and throw it in the bin. So with a stabby, sorry, I'm just trying to get it. So You want to go. So I'm trying to get. So you go away from yourself, right? So you carry on like that, right? Use the whole. Do one stroke over the whole knife. Yeah. Then you should feel it. Sorry, feel it if there is a little burr on the knife, because as you've worn that, the metal is tipped up. So then you flip it over, work that burr, and then you'll end up with that little burr on there. So you strop it, and that should break that burr off, and then you should end up with a fairly sharp knife. But there's loads of videos on sharpening, but the Lansky sets are actually really good. And there's loads. Once you figure out what a Lansky set looks like, there's loads of like Chinese knockoffs that are tenner, and they come with loads of different grit stones. You can grind a blade from pretty much nothing. Any good?
Michael M used to cough to cover a fart. Now he farts to cover a cough. Good point.
Very true. Very true.
If I fart, I cover my pants.
Very true.
Michael Sanderson, I don't know about seaweeds. If you can eat them raw, I'm sure you can eat them cooked.
Do we need to cook all the seaweeds, etc.? No, you should be able to eat all that stuff raw, because salt is an antibacterial, but you do get halophilic bacteria. Hey, check me out. So halophilic bacteria are salt-loving bacteria. Otherwise, fish would never get ill. So there are bacteria that can still grow in salt, but not really anything pathogenic that I know of off the top of my head. But there's obviously got to be something out there that's going to make you ill. But obviously a lot less likely. So most stuff below the sea level is edible straight away. Just pick it up and eat it. Unless it's like a lump of driftwood or a spare tire or something. Yeah, and then obviously, and if you're taking it straight out of the sea, so there's the thing with like shellfish. Shellfish will only make you sick because you take them out the sea, and then you're walking along for about half an hour, and then you think, "Oh, I'm going to eat that now." Well, bacteria doubles every 15 minutes, so all the time that's in your bag, that's breeding the bacteria because you've taken it out of its natural environment. So the best thing to do is pick it up and eat it straight away if you're eating raw.
Have a quick look down these then. Matt says thanks for the advice there, Bruce. Joey Chisel making a cheap lightweight windshield stone. Yeah, should be easy enough. What's that? Howdy from Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, Michael Schaefer. G'day, sir. I'm not doing 5 press-ups. That's just lunacy.
Will both of you doing a walking challenge this year, coast to coast? Well, with lockdown, no. And then once I get back to work, I am probably going to be slogging my guts out because I've been put on furlough. And as a mountain leader, check me out. I'm going to be busy taking groups up in Lake District or in South Wales or something like that, or North Wales or Scotland. I don't know. But yeah, but I just wish we knew ahead of time. But I had my whole year planned out, and the whole thing has just been thrown in the bin. So don't know.
I had the South Downs Way walked in booked in Arsender next month, which is obviously being blown out of the water now. I won't be doing the coast to coast again this year, purely because 10 days away from the kids is a lot. I would get them to do it with me, but it'd probably take me about 3.5 months. So once I know how long we've got left of the year after we're allowed out and about, then I'll make a decision on that one. What skill would you show your children as an outdoor lesson? Mine know all about, firelighting and stuff like that, and they help me make the shelters. Nothing in depth, to be honest. They pick a bit of sand fire. Making stoves, just anything to keep them busy, really. But they don't do a great deal of it. They're getting to that age where they don't really want to be with their old man. Bruce?
Yeah. Depends how old your kids are. If they're little kids, you could get a load of twigs and then get them to make like a Action Man village, so they can like practice their debris shelters, and then when they do get out into the woods, they can scale it up. So you can just snap a load of twigs off, and then they can make for their dollies or action men or whatever. If they're a bit older, there's things like whistles or bug hotels. You can saw loads of bamboo and stick it in a box. But it's just about being outdoors. But another thing is where kids are sitting there staring at the TV all day, they're only really using their eyes. They're not really thinking. So it's sort of like a meditation technique. So you sit them out in the garden and set a timer for 5 minutes and get them
throw
to write.
stones on.
Yeah, throw stones at them. Yeah, get a slingshot. So give them 5 minutes of everything they can hear. And then they have to write it all down, everything they can see, everything they can smell, and all that sort of stuff. So they'll end up with the right list, and it just helps them chill out and sort of focus in a bit. And then when you become into the woodland, you actually will pick up on the bird call because you've been practicing your listening. You'll pick up on a smell of a campfire because you've been practicing your smelling. And, it's all about that, using those other senses. Because as soon as I walk into a woodland, my eyes are everywhere, and you're using your peripheral vision, you're listening because you just switch on because, me and Nobby were out there all the time, and you get used to seeing stuff. You always got an eye out for a deer or whatever.
What I always keep my eye out for is other people's dogs when I'm having a fucking dung out. There's nothing worse than a strange dog nose up the hooper.
Yeah.
Right.
Hasn't happened to me.
Has it happened to you?
No.
Second Star Survival, how you doing, mate? And Mark Dooney McLeod. Longest I ever watched a Bruce Lee without kung fu fighting. I don't know what you mean.
Story time. What's the dumbest thing you've seen the other do?
Who's that from? Oh, yeah, down there.
Michael Davis. Yeah. I think Nobby's got to be me shooting myself with a slingshot. That was pretty good.
Yeah, about 3 times.
Yeah, that hurt.
Yeah, don't lay it down. You proper biffed out on that.
I did. Yeah. But at least I ate something.
I don't do stupid things.
No.
It's everything I try to catch with long lines I catch.
What?
Right, yeah. What we got down here? I missed a couple here. Am I making out this week? Yes. Keep your eyes peeled tomorrow. It's either going to be fantastic or it's going to be me laying under a load of wood. I'm not getting the guitar, mate. That is one surefire way to lose everyone watching. Either that or you just get saturated by hordes of screaming girls saying Daniel Bedingfield's put on a bit of timber, but Dave, Boulder Rambler, Michael Davis, so we've already done that one. Matt Blythe, I'm doing a Free Preach Challenge in August, 1st of August. Hopefully see you on the hills. How many instruments can you play, Nobby? Well, none.
I can't either.
I can get a tune out of a fair few, actually, but I'm not good, not by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah. No. I did try learning guitar, but when I was learning guitar, I was a butcher at the time, and being a butcher makes your hands really soft because of the oil and the fat. Exactly, yes. You end up with really soft hands, so you're trying to build the calluses up playing a guitar, and then you just end up bleeding the whole time, so it's just pointless. So it just made me hands hurt, so I gave up.
Added point, mate, yeah.
Yeah. This is...
Reeler Brand, Cy, Cy, the bloke with the picture of the fox. I always look out for the ghillie. Mickey Schaefer, a local cider, after I get off duty. Mate, I'm crap on a computer. This is why I go sleep under a leaf and cook my food on a Zippo.
So
you lads are Bruce and Lee.
Oh, Bruce Lee. Oh, yeah.
I
No
thought
problem.
you meant something completely different. Did
Yeah.
you both serve? Well, I don't know about you, Bruce. Did you serve?
No.
Okay.
No.
No, we didn't.
No, I didn't.
What's that? Win-win. Facebook
Robert,
group were no help to me. What Facebook group was that?
I don't know.
Your Coast to Coast was epic. Watched it last night on a big screen. Thank you very much, Nelson.
That was good.
Yeah, the foot. Yeah, that fucking hurt. But you got to crack on with it, ain't you?
Mm.
Get on and good evening. Thank you, Sconja.
I was so close to joining you on that as well.
I know.
I buggered my heel up, didn't I?
Do it on your own. I'm a bit lost, Robert, to be fair. I don't know what you're... Unless I've missed something earlier on.
Yeah, I scrolled back. I couldn't find it. Oh, yeah. Never met anyone on Facebook group. They all did not want to be found.
What about one on sport? I mean, no disrespect, but I'm reminded of Gimli and Gandalf. You can't offend me, mate, because I've never watched it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm guessing Gimli's must be some sort of dwarf or something.
He is a dwarf, yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
There you go. And I'm guessing you're Gandalf.
Yeah, Gandalf the Wizard, yeah.
Guy Martin. Is it the real Guy Martin? The bloke that does the Wall of Death and crap.
Oh, I hope so. Guy Martin is a legend.
He is a legend. Simon Mayfield. Right, that's all caught up. Now, my eyes can start working again. Who's your football teams? Oh, there's one way to start a fight, isn't it? Football is a game for pregnant women and children. For years and years and years, I was a gooner, joined the army, played rugby, fell in love with rugby. You can't enjoy football after you fall in love with rugby because I can't think of another sport other than diving and swimming where diving is actually a tactic, where cheating is a tactic. And I don't like that. Stay on your fucking feet and score a goal. Tony Adams, Roy Keane, Keown, none of them lot will be able to play football nowadays.
No.
And so, sorry about that rant. I used to love football. They ruined it for me.
Yeah, so my mate used to support West Ham, and I supported anyone West Ham was playing. And I used to really cheer on the other group. I didn't know who the bloody hell they were, but down the pub that was a good bit of fun. That was. I actually enjoyed that. But all the diving, it's just boring. Yeah. And the amount of effort I've got to put in, I couldn't even name a footballer. So I've got to learn all their names, got to learn what team they're in. It's like I can't be bothered.
Matt Blythe, I guarantee that I've pitched near a dogging site. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have. Yeah, still lost, Robert. You're talking about a Facebook group or something or other. I really don't know what you're going on about, mate. What's up, Fat Knackers? He's talking to you. You must have a mirror there. I'm a fucking spelt mofo. I was a wing mostly, mate. Quicker than poo through a goose, I was.
So Sean Kerr says, what are you making this week, Bruce? I've got a gas bottle that I can make into a little wood burner for the garden, possibly. Saturday. I've got some flint strikers I need to make for work. I need to make probably about half a dozen or something. I'm going to chop up a file, anneal it, and then harden just that edge so we've got a decent striking edge, and then smash up a load of flint into some flakes, just for my fire starting kit, basically. I've got a couple of trunks of lime wood that I need to cut down and make some hearth boards for friction fire. I've got a load of hazel pegs as well that I need to make into spindles and bearing blocks and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it doesn't start. Got to make loads of char cloth as well. Whether it gets a video done or not, I don't know. But probably the strikers will, and the stove making probably will. But I've just got to get the bits together and find some motivation.
What have I missed?
Nothing much. I said I'm going to make some flint strikers and a wood burner stove thing for the garden. So
Fair play, yeah.
start doing it. Hi from Wales, just Vin. Nice one.
What we got here? What do you do for work, Bruce?
What do I do for work? I'm a outdoor youth instructor. So I deal with kids who are disengaging from school, and then we do a project with them, and then take them up in the mountains, take them for a week away into the Lake District where we own a centre, and beast them up mountains for a week and kind of help them with their issues and stuff. I'm also a bushcraft instructor and a kayak instructor at an outdoor centre that I run, which has all gone to poo with the virus, really. So yeah, that's what I do.
Right, let's have a look. Middle-aged Sparky from Kent, guy Martin. Looking forward to watching that, mate. Lots of them then. The beer people of the Laird of Glencairn.
Nice.
I've got a transit and I'm going to turn it into a Goldie sack. I like that a lot. Are you selling those flint strikers? I'll be up for one if you're going to sell them. While he's choking, in a minute or two, we're going to go on to the quiz. If you want to do a few of these answers, smack 11111 in the thing so I can see if there's any interest in it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't tend to sell stuff because it's just the amount of faffing about. It's like the leather stuff. I get quite a lot of people asking me for leather stuff that I make on my channel, but normally I don't. I just give advice on how themselves because it's nothing's that difficult. All you got to do is hack up a file. So you make it yourself. Do we want a question? Pick a card. Pick a card.
That one.
That one there.
Yeah.
What colour flare should you use to indicate an emergency?
Are we going to wait for them to come up in the comments, or do you want my answer?
Yeah, what's your answer?
Orange.
Right. What's everyone else say? What colour flare should be used to indicate an emergency? Red, 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 red. Sean Kerr, you are the winner. You win the internet. Well done. Yeah. Covering exposed skin. This isn't sounding good, is it? With mud is a good way to protect yourself against biting insects. True or false? It's true.
I thought it was just the predator.
Yes, please. Which of the following are not poisonous? Dandelions, foxgloves, or buttercups?
I don't think some parts of dandelion. I know foxgloves are poisonous, and I think buttercups might be.
Yeah, dandelions. So, or you can eat all of a dandelion. It's one of the. They usually say a poisonous plant has got milk in it. When you snap it and you get that sort of milky sap. But dandelion is one of the few that is actually edible and has still got the milky sap. So you can dig up the roots and you can dry it out and make coffee. Tastes like coffee, but it hasn't got any caffeine in it. So what's the point? And you can eat the flowers and the leaves. Interesting question. Which of the following colour berries are the most likely to be toxic? Yellow, red, or purple? Most likely, because there's loads of poisonous red berries and there's loads of poisonous purple berries, like deadly nightshade or woody nightshade.
Now you've even tried to do a bit of a Darren Brown there because you missed out the orange, but I'd say purple.
Second Star Survival says yellow. Yeah, apparently it's yellow.
Fucking Darren Brown.
There you go. Right. To slow the spread of venom when bitten by a snake, you should keep the wound above or below your heart. So you put your hand up or you put your hand down. Hand up, hand
They
down.
always say above, but I don't know. I already ain't got a clue. I would have said above.
Oh, Second Star Survival wins again. Nope, hang on. I like Carl R195. So do I. He's a legend. I've had a camp with him. So it's Robert Hector just said that. Below your heart, it reduces the flow of venom to major areas. Apparently.
Tell me the one about the spit. I like the one about the spit.
Okay, so oh god, trying to find out. Well, this one, no.
I'll remember it if you can't.
No, just one if I had it written down properly. Right, so if you are in an avalanche, how would spitting help
Dribble.
you?
How would dribble help you in an avalanche?
Yeah, how would spitting?
Dead air. Dead air. Any chance for a round of Chad and Dave? Now you're talking my language. No, no one. It's really good. I thought that Matt, you're wrong, by the way.
Oh yeah, Nelson Click. He's got it. Yeah, which way up you are? Oh no, sorry. Yeah. We all got it. Which way is up? Yeah. So, obviously, if you've been in an avalanche and you spit, if your spit dribbles up your face, you'll know you're completely upside down or dribbles to one side. It gives you an idea of which way is up, basically. Which is handy if you're disorientated, and you're going to be disorientated because you've just been dried down a hill. So you find yourself lost in the wild. The first thing you should do is stop. What does this stand for? What does the letters in STOP stand for? STOP.
Stop, think, observe, plan.
You're just giving the answer away, you knob.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Stop, think, work out what your options are, come up with a plan. Rubbish.
Sorry, mate. I ain't normally on this thing, right?
Does it work when you're pissed?
There are tablets for that, Robert.
How a mirror be used in an emergency? Can't bother with that. Can't bother with that. Bother with that. God, I like snakes in this.
47 people viewing, Bruce.
Really? You got anything better? And you people got anything better to do?
I love this virus. Mate, if any of you are first-time viewers, even if you don't like what we're saying, pop over, have a listen to the music my mate knocked up on my last vid. I'm not pushing my vid; it's a 2-minute vid. I think the song's quality. He's a genius, and if you want to, pop over to his channel because he's a top lad, ginger, but a top lad.
Oh, well, that's why it's so good then. On average, how many days can a healthy human survive without water? Terrible. God, these are awful questions.
7, isn't it? Or is it 3?
3. So it's just 3. So I actually this will link to a story, right? So I was explaining the rule of 3s. So it's 3 seconds without Wi-Fi, 3 minutes without oxygen, 3 days without water, 3 hours without shelter, 3 weeks without food. If you've got shelter and water, you can survive for 3 weeks, and then 3 months without company because you go a bit stir crazy. Anyway, this lad said he was a refugee, and he went 4 days. He had to walk across the desert for 4 days, and he was nearly dead when he got there. And they gave him this bowl of water, and they put petrol in it. And the reason they put petrol in it is so he didn't. If he just drunk the whole thing, it would have killed him. So he needed to sip at it, and it was so disgusting because it had petrol in it. He was just taking little sips and then coughing and bleh. Yeah. But they actually put petrol in there, and putting petrol in the water saved his life. And I was like, that's messed up.
Yeah. Couldn't they have just given him a little cup?
I could have done. But there was a whole load of them. There's a whole load of them that had just evacuated across the desert. So maybe they just did it. Maybe they just did it for fun. But it sounded plausible, and he was damn good at cordage, so he wasn't lying.
Quick question there from Itchy Feet for you, Bruce.
Where is it?
If he makes nettle teas, does he use the shoots or the old leaves?
No, always use the shoot, the top of the leaf, right? Because as nettles get older, they build up calcium in their leaves. So if you eat or drink quite a lot of older leaves, it can make you more susceptible to things like kidney stones and stuff like that. Just because the amount of calcium that can build up in your system. There you go. I knew the answer. The seeds as well are a really good antioxidant.
Man or woman, who survives longer?
Woman.
Not open L.
Depends where.
And all that sort of shit, and the fact they don't use as much energy. If I was stranded on an island for my wife, I'd survive longer than my wife.
Yeah, because you'd be dead. No, but in the cold, women always survive longer because women are designed. So women are all very smooth because the body fat is smooth out over their body, whereas men are a bit more gristly. So men haven't got the stores of fat. So if, in the cold, or if you fall in the sea, women always survive longer.
I have known women who look like they have their arse on upside down. I've gone to bed with Sharon Stone and woke up with 20 stone, mate. It ain't evenly spread. It's not evenly spread at all.
Yeah.
Stop making stuff up. You're a knowledgeable man. You're too good for that.
Okay. So the reason they have access to all the fat is when they're having babies, they need to have loads and loads of energy that's going to last them about 10 hours while they go into labour. So women can burn energy a lot quicker than men can. Burn off fat reserves a lot quicker. There you go. And the insulation. So before heading into the wild, what is most important thing to do? Pack a sun hat. Tell someone where you're going. Oh, I can't even be bothered with that. It's rubbish. Just tell someone where you're going. Is it possible to use ice to make a fire?
Yes.
How?
Like a magnifying glass.
Yeah, make a magnifying glass, and you can do it. But
have a quick catch up on who's in here, mate. Very quickly. New Forrest Gump, William Simpson, Just Vin, Itchy Feet. I think I've already mentioned you. Chris Worthington, Hiker, CC Tur, Robert Hector, Craig Webster. It's right, tasty as Webster's. And William Simpson. There you go. Sorry if you can hear an echo. My voice makes my guitar go off.
True. Having managed to survive a plane crash, should you stay near the plane wreckage or move as far away from it as you can?
Is the pilot alive?
No, I've eaten him.
Right.
He was cooked. Waste not, want not.
Tricky one. It's going to attract stuff, isn't it?
Yes. So stay close to the wreckage. An airplane is much easier to spot than people walking on their own, which is fair. And they've got trackers and they'll know the last position of the plane. So better to stay with the plane, unless you can see a town or village like a mile away. But yeah, but it's a pre-made shelter, unless it's going to explode or something. Yeah, but stay in the vicinity. Because and there's materials, there's luggage, there's all sorts of stuff that you could possibly use. So maybe, but yeah, better to stay near it.
You are stranded, and the only food you can find in 3 days
Is
is
Judea.
full of Judea. Do you eat it or go hungry?
I'd eat it. I'm not a big tart like you, but I'd eat it raw because Judea just gets worse the more you cook it. It just turns into snot, doesn't it?
I have nightmares about that shit.
Oh dear, oh dear.
I actually had to have a scout through them vids because picking stuff up for that latest one. Oh, we were shy.
It was December, mate. It was December.
Let's catch and cook. Heck all.
Whose idea was that?
I don't know. All right.
Oh, look, special effects. Whoa, some Jews here on the campfire. And me. Oh, that green screen in it. I'm a Jew's here.
Yeah, if any of you want to go out and try that, enjoy it. It'll keep you alive, but it ain't a life worth living.
There's like no nutrition in it at all. It's basically like pasta to bulk up a meal, but okay. Along with oxygen, what other 2 things do you need to start a fire?
I know this, but obviously I'll keep them.
It's the fire triangle, ladies and gents. I'm sure you all did it at school many moons ago. If you take one away, your fire will go out.
The answer's petrol and a live cat.
Yes. Heat and fuel. Yeah, so oxygen, heat and fuel. So you need a source of heat to start it. You need something that will burn. And you need oxygen.
Have a last one and then we'll see what other bollocks we can come up with.
Come up with that. What must you do to snow before eating it to avoid further dehydrating yourself?
Melt it.
Not nitrogen. Melt. Yeah, well, there's not much else you can do to snow, is there? What must you do to snow? Well, it's no longer snow, is it? Put it on your head.
No, I'm not going to say what.
Kick it around. Rub it on yourself. No, melt it.
New Forrest Gump, why are you called Nobby? I'm hung like a Hoover, mate. That's not the reason. And I ain't. All Clarks are Nobbies in the army. Simple as. My dad's a Nobby, my brother's a Nobby, my boys are Nobbies. Nobby Clark. 9%. Yeah, make sure it's not yellow. Boil it. What can you use an old rubber inner tube for?
Burning.
Hey, loads of stuff. Firelighters, catapults.
Making ranger bands. You can also put a seal around a Zippo lighter so the fuel doesn't leak out in the first day. So it will last about 2 days because Zippos are crap.
If you've got two of them, you can put one over your kid's forehead and around the back of his bed, and the other one on the back of his head, and pull it up, and then let it go when he's asleep. Perfect way to wake him up.
Yep, use it as physio bands.
Yeah. I always try to get the valve pointing down as well.
Nice.
You've got to do it proper.
Nice. So another thing to do with an inner tube as well, cut the valve out and leave enough, probably about that much rubber around it. Make a hole in the top of a Coke bottle and poke the valve through it, and then screw the lid back on the bottle, and then put an air compressor on it. And once it gets up to about 75 psi, the bottle explodes. It's great.
Or if you do exactly the same thing, but leave it compressed, when you shoot them with catapults, they explode.
Yeah, but it goes like a big pear shape.
Big bada boom.
We tried to do it with a car tire, and I got about 175 psi in a car tire with a 500-litre compressor. It still didn't blow up. I was gutted.
Oh, well. Yeah, you wouldn't want to be stood near if it did.
No, no, we was well away. Something doing it. How big is the tube? Blow it up and white water it. Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good answer.
Quick one for Si out there. Have you got webcam capabilities on that side here? That's Real brand, Si. You know, being an oldie, the son and stuff. Just wait for answer. So, what else on the agenda for you to knock up and make then, Bruce?
Well, we always said about making a little wood burner. Trying to think of some more leather bits to make because leather videos do quite well. But yeah, it's just thinking of extra things I need or want, you know. Little pouches and stuff like that are always kind of handy, but I don't need them. It's just like. Also, I should really make something for my 5,000 subscriber giveaway when I get around to it. But
no one likes to show off, mate.
You are? You'll be there soon enough. You're bloody flying at the moment. What are you? 3.5?
3, 4, I think.
Yeah, you're not far off at all. You're probably going to overtake me because my channel's crap.
I think it's because I'm just a fucking stud muffin.
Yeah, it helps that you've got a sense of humour. I haven't got one that I'm aware of.
Mate, I don't know about that. I'd have grieved. Yeah, that was a proper giggle.
Chris Worthington had just made a log burner. Yes, he did. Yeah, Chris actually has made a very cool log burner out of. What did you use, Chris? Because I did see it. He showed me some pictures of it. But he's got I think it was a helium cylinder. You know, the old disposable helium cylinders. So it's nice and lightweight, and then welded a chimney on it, and then welded the cut a slit, welded the words hinge on, and then cut the rest of the door out. So it's, and then got a latch, and then put an air vent in the bottom, put some legs on it. It's decent. But it just needs to burn the paint off and then give it a reproofing. Yeah, old helium bottle. There you go. I was right. Yeah, not bad.
3.42 K apparently for me.
Well, not bad.
It's getting there, mate.
You can use fire extinguishers too. Yeah. Well, I was walking the dog the other day. I saw a couple of gas cylinders in the ditch, and I was like, I'll have to pop back with my car, but it's not really essential travel, is it? And I weren't bloody carrying them because I was a bit too far from home. When was your first wild camp, and was it a success? I think my first wild camp was camping up the Naze when I was, I don't know, early, sort of late teens, and we were drinking. What was it called? Two Dogs, alcoholic lemonade when it first came out.
Mad Dog 2020.
No, not Mad Dog 2020. It was Two Dogs. So they had Hooch, didn't they? Do you remember Hooch?
Yeah, you still get it.
Yeah. So yeah, but they had it was called Two Dogs, and it was like the back end of Two Dogs on the can. There you go. So it was a success. Yes, it was awesome.
Mine, I've done loads of kicking on the beach and that when I was a nipper. That don't really count, so I was off my nuts. And obviously, I joined the army at 16, and I was forever in the woods there, and that's proper wild camping.
Yeah.
Yes, the bare minimum. So yeah, that was a success. I'm still here. But after I left and started doing it again, just popped over a local field and bought ammo.
Yeah. I'm trying to think when I sort of got back into it. Because I was
Sorry, Bruce.
That's right. I'll try and send you a picture. That's decent. Mad 2020. Oh yeah.
Yes, but they still allowed the elephant beer in the army camps.
Yeah.
And that was good.
Missy, stop it. Sorry, dog's growling at something. She can see a reflection in the window. Spastic. I was going to say something interesting, but no, forgotten now. What's the weirdest thing you've seen while wild camping? Nobby skipping on the beach. That was quite amusing. Missy, shut up.
Oh, where is thing I'm sick?
Miss, come here.
I have. You're going to have to forgive me because I'm probably going to use the wrong terminology. Is it meteor or meteorite? It's meteor, isn't it?
Yeah.
I saw a meteor when I was down in Herne Bay. I weren't wild camping. I was out laughing at night shooting. It was an all-night thing, so near enough. And this thing looked. If you can imagine being on a football pitch and someone lit fire to a football and booted it, it was that sort of size it looked like. And it, proper come over and landed in the North Sea just off Herne Bay. That was awesome. That was good, that.
Yeah, I was doing NCS, which is National Citizenship Service, and I was standing out there, like pointing out to the kids, like where the North Star is and all that crap, and the plough and Cassiopeia, and I was pointing out, and then there was this shooting star, but it left a trail, and the trail was there for a good couple of minutes afterwards. So it was like really local, and it was properly bright. It was like like magnesium. Like properly, it's wicked. And all the kids were like, "Oh my god, what the hell was that?" I was like, "That was a shooting star. That is the best one I've ever seen." Because usually it's just a little flick. So, Jez, Crafty Bush Prepper, we did a camp up the Naze, which is kind of near me. Because I look at there's the Pelsid meteor shower. I think it's August time, 13th or 14th of August. Off the top of my head. So there's like supposed to be like 100 an hour. So I looked up. There's a dark map. So light pollution map. That's what I was thinking. So where the least light pollution is, and the place where the least light pollution was the Naze. So we went and bivvy camped up on top of the cliffs. Just looking out to sea, laying there, watching all these meteors. And then I got my phone out and we was listening to War of the Worlds. Just laying there in a bivvy, looking up, watching War of the Worlds. And then if you listen to War of the Worlds, they say it was the 13th of August when blah, 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 blah. And we're like, shit! We're going to get attacked by aliens. No, but it was wicked. It was really, really good. So, yeah, just laid there watching... Stop it, Rat. Just laid there watching meteors and just sort of going to sleep, just laying there watching them. It was wicked. It was really, really cool. And I got a wicked time lapse as well when I got up in the morning of the sun coming up. So, yeah. Pretty sweet.
Hiker CC Tur. Love watching the hikes there. Some beautiful sights there. Most certainly is, mate. It's God's country. I know you're from the States, mate. Whereabouts in the States? I'm not sure if that CC Tur is any hint. Ben, Londoner Outdoors. Good evening, mate. Vespa Tim. I was trying to figure out how to pronounce that. It's obviously Vespa Tim. I bet he rides a Vespa.
I'd like to.
Ben.
Yeah, probably does drive a Vespa. Nothing wrong with a Vespa. Stop it. Stop licking me, you stupid thing.
I don't know, mate. Scooters are like fat birds, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Great to ride until your friends find out.
Yeah.
Love the Sharp Lee. They're steadily growing, mate, to be fair. It's, I haven't been hit with any huge numbers coming in recently, must admit. Seen a Pine Martin eat a Big Mac in Glen Nevis. Was he old? It'd be awesome if he was old in it. Cheers, Chris. Saw some great sights in Herne Bay in the 70s. Yeah, mate, I loved it up there. It was. I actually lived Beltinge, just by Reculver Towers. That Tom Outdoors just done a vid over at Reculver Towers, and I literally there's a big common area that no one can build on. It's all like triple SI and bollocks like that, and I live just the other side of it.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good. And Ben, it was a bit blowy. Michigan, 4 hours north of Detroit. I love that every year in my Vespa. You're the one. Or one of the 5,000, however many there are. Yeah. Fair play to you, mate. It's I like them. I do like them. I've got a little Honda Chally I like, which is a little monkey bike. Don't look stupid at all riding that. Jack hair dryer. Holding it. What are you holding?
London Outdoors, your camp video the other day, top bloke.
Camped on a balcony in a bivvy in London.
Decent. I've not seen that one yet.
I think I am going to go out camping either this week, not out camping, I mean in the garden. If tomorrow's a success, then I'm going to have to test it out. You know?
Yeah. I'm definitely going to. Hang on a second. I just got to shut the curtains because the dog's going to just carry on barking at Reflection. Missy, stop it.
Go on, Missy, stop it. Stop it, Missy.
Stupid rat.
Don't want to go to bed. Killer, pack it in. Missy. That's shocking. I am tomorrow. I am tomorrow looking up what is probably like a turtle dog hammock stand for the garden. As I said earlier, I've got nowhere to hang anything. Blah, blah. So I'm knocking up 2 tripods with a centre pole. But I'm making it out of natural wood that I bought back from the woods. So if any of you are interested, hopefully there'll be a vid up tomorrow. If it don't work, there ain't a vid. Is Missy all right?
No, she's dead.
Okay.
It's the only option. Yeah, she's lying down there. Preston's all right, though, because he's a legend. You seen this, Lee? Look.
Oh, I'm liking that.
Look at the dangler. Look at that. Oh.
I like it, mate. I like it a lot. He's gifted me the knife.
Look, nink. I think you're going to enjoy the bulbous end. No, I'm really pleased with that. I'm actually a little bit more pleased with the one I've made myself, the one with the other handles, the mahogany handles. So just because I knew this one was yours, but I still got to make a sheath. But I'm going to make a sheath that takes that food spoon and fork that I made as well, so I could have like a full KFS type deal going on.
Oh, Lordy Lord. I'm knackered out.
You're knackered out, really?
Always, mate.
Mm.
It's hard work not doing anything. It's killing me.
It's exhausting not doing anything. Like I wasted an entire day watching Better Call Saul.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Just but yeah, but that's the thing. You know, you can't go out. You can't go anywhere. There's only so much walking with the dogs you can do. And there's only so much tidying up you can do. And the really annoying thing is they've closed all the dumps. So I've got loads of stuff I want to chuck away, and I can't because everything's shut. Even I even went to chuck a load of stuff down a bottle bank, and they're not emptying the bottle banks. They're just all overflowing everywhere. So I just thought I might as well leave it in the garden. Who are the wild campers?
Cheers, Chris. What's that? Thank you very much, Si. First inch is the worst inch when it comes to a bulbous end, allegedly. Two folks stay safe. Thank you very much, Chris. Who of the wild campers you watch would you choose to go out camping, and who would you not want to go with? Well, for obvious reasons, I'm not going to start slating people. There is one I definitely wouldn't want to bloody go with because he's a fucking psychopath. You know what I mean. Yeah, I'm not mentioning any names just in case he turns up in my shed. Don't get me wrong, I'll fill him in, not a problem at all. But yeah, it just ain't worth the hassle. And you know, I reckon it'd be a giggle to go out with Hayes. There's loads of people. There's loads of decent people out there. I mean, you've got your Ashes, your Bens. There's loads. Si, I've been out with Si. Sam's a good bloke. There's hundreds I'd happily go out with. There's too many to mention because you start missing people out.
Yeah.
There are a few that you can see if people are genuine. If you're not genuine, I couldn't give a feck about going out with you. If you're doing shit for clicks and views and bollocks like that, trying to make a perfect vid for the sake of making a vid, there's no soul in it for me. And each to their own. I'm not slating you, but they're the sort of people I wouldn't want to camp with. If you want to sit down, do a bit of whittling, trip over in a stream, cook a steak, and have a laugh around a campfire, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
And Ed Stafford.
Yeah. Carlisle 195. I had a really good camp with him, and that was a good laugh. And I really need to go and have a camp with him again because he's just a really top bloke. But off camera, he's just exactly the same. He's just properly chilled out. He's just a nice guy, and he won't review anything. He won't, he gets, because he's like 82,000 subscribers now. It's bonkers amount of subscribers he's got. It's just because he's regular every week. He's out. Okay, everyone says his videos are a bit samey, but he always cooks with a massive joint of meat and builds a shelter. But yeah, it's just a proper top bloke.
I mean,
Tim is one too. So to his mate Tim that he goes out with. But obviously John has been doing it a lot longer. But Tim has brought in the extra stuff, like they did some. I think when Tim first came along, they started doing knife making, like in the campfire, and hammered some bits of rebar out, which was pretty cool. And then they helped, some of all the clay work and the chinking and all that sort of stuff. So yeah. What's his?
The quick butchers down here now.
Yeah. But guys, if you do watch my videos, can you just leave me a comment? Because it's nice to know that you've been watching, and then I can sub you back. If you just sit there watching my videos and give it a like, I don't know who's liked it, if you know what I mean. So I can follow you up, because it's really, really frustrating.
That's rock and roll, motherfucker.
I'm just gutted it didn't fall on your fucking head.
I was in the kitchen.
Oh, dear.
Tune.
What's the best sleeping bag for camping?
The
And
one you got.
British Army Arctic sleeping bag. Because the first time you go out camping, it'll be bloody freezing. Because your sleep mat will be crap. Your hammock will be crap. Just get an Arctic sleeping bag. Really good in a hammock as well because it's a centre zip.
See, the thing is with sleeping bags and stuff like that,
But it does weigh 1,000,000 tons.
it does. And everyone sleeps different. I mean, you look at the last couple of camps I've had, I've just used a Snug Black travel blanket, and where that covered me weren't too bad. I sleep bloody warm. I'd never, my White Wolf is only like an 800 bill down DOS bag, probably good to about 0 in extreme. I never need more than that, to be honest with you. I do take the Arctic out from time to time because if you need a bit more padding underneath or you're keeping on the floor, it's just and a lot bigger. Yeah, if weight ain't a problem, do it. But yeah, it's a hard one to call that.
Yeah, but the army sleeping bags are generally bigger, whereas ultra light, expensive sleeping bags are made to fit. And where I'm sort of 6 foot, they're just that bit too snug, and especially in a hammock, they're just a bitch to get in.
Since the old underquilt stuff, you use them like a top quilt.
Yeah,
you're laughing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. But I've been in what's the military modular sleep system, which is 2 sleeping bags in a bivvy bag. I've been in one of them, and that's supposed to be good for -40. Absolute cobblers that is. I was like +5, and I was absolutely bloody freezing.
Do I play the guitar regularly? And who are my favourite bands? I've got far too many bands to mention, mate, to be honest with you.
Beer people, Bruce, what's your channel called? It's called Wild Ginger Bruce, funnily enough, because I used to be Ginger. And Ginger Bruce used to be my Xbox name when I was playing on Xbox. And then I went on Instagram. I used to be just Ginger Bruce on YouTube. And then I went on Instagram, and Instagram wouldn't let me have Ginger Bruce. So I stuck Wild in front of it, and it's stuck. So it just basically means outdoorsy. I'm not really a bushcraft channel. I'm not a mountaineering hiking channel. Kind of a bit of both, and I just kind of do what I want outdoors when I want to do it. So there's been a lack of videos lately, but I'm trying to catch up. Ant survived the night. How you doing, mate?
I'm trying to find out where we are. I've just got a load of comments about my guitar going for a burn.
All right.
Polar Geist, whatever. Nah.
Yeah, what I use for cold, I've got a Snugpak Sleeper Extreme, and then inside that's good for about, I think, -10 or 12, something like that. And then I've got a down Agimax from AliExpress, a down Agimax, which is packs down about the size of a Coke can, but it's lighter and smaller than a fleece liner. So I usually put that inside, and then I've got some down booties as well. So little down booties that you put on first, and then your feet. As long as your feet are warm, you're generally pretty good. But I've been ridiculously cold in that, and that's just really good. So, and then you can add add a bivvy bag that'll add a bit more insulation. You can add a mylar sheet, anything. Is it a Fender?
Yep. It's a bent Fender now.
Or it was.
Oh.
OEX 400 in November in the peaks, freezing snow, lovely and toasty. Yeah. The thing with sleeping bags as well is how you look after them. I know everybody's limited for space, but really you should hang them up in a wardrobe. rather than leave them compressed, because you compress, they don't loft, and then they don't work. Down is really bad for it, but even normal sleeping bags, you keep them zipped up in their normal bags, you're just going to murder them. So the older a sleeping bag gets, the worse it's going to be.
I just want to ask a quick question out there. How do people view OEX stuff? Because I don't know why I've got it. I think it's because I hate go outdoors. But I've just got it in my head that it's tap for the money.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like. I see a lot of people touting it. I see a lot of people using it. Is it any good?
I would say no. I've come across plenty of OEX tents, and they're just crap. I had a Lidl tent that was better than the Lidl coffin tent that was better than the OEX tent. OEX is just a brand name for go outdoors, and it's just cack. And then again, they're going to start improving, and then, but as they improve, then that pushes the price up, because obviously they need to research it and use better materials. So it's a catch-22. If you want to go camping 2-3 times a year, buy an OEX tent. If you want to go camping a lot, then get yourself a Terra Nova, Wild Country, something that's going to last.
I don't know. There were good cheap tents out there. I didn't know if that was a brand. Basically, some of the people I see pushing it, I don't necessarily think they test it as it should be tested. Was that politically enough?
Yeah, I think a lot of the people who review OEX stuff spend a lot of their time licking windows. In my own personal opinion. But then if there was a comparison with decent kit against OEX stuff, and if they said, yeah, the OEX stuff is actually better than this Alp kit or Berghaus or whatever, then I'd go, actually, yeah, that makes sense. But just because you survived a night sleeping in an OEX tent.
Well, Tramp survived the night sleeping in piss-stained pants. I wouldn't go buy a pair of them.
Oh, I don't know. OEX walking poles. Yeah, there's some kit that you can't really get wrong. Whereas walking poles, I've got a pair of. I bought carbon fiber walking poles from AliExpress, and they were 11 quid for a pair. And I was like, even if they're crap, they're still a pair of walking poles. And actually, they're not carbon fiber; they're fiberglass. And they're the tits. They're really good. They're lightweight. They've got the clicky latches rather than the screw together. They're brilliant walking poles. And they're 11 quid off AliExpress. And when I'm carrying walking poles, I'm usually walking with a group of up to 15 kids. So when the kids go, oh, my legs are hurting, can I borrow your walking poles? They're like loners, because I rarely use them. And the kids haven't destroyed them yet, so they've got to be pretty bloody good. The concern I've got with carbon fiber walking poles, if you're at the top of a mountain and the weather turns in, does that heighten your chance of being hit by lightning? Because carbon fiber fishing rods will kill you. Aluminium will kill you. It's a really good conductor. So I thought my fiberglass ones are actually pretty bloody good after that sort of rattled through my head. Because even if you put your poles away and put them on your bag, you're still going to get fucking hit.
We've got here DD or surplus on a budget. Yep, good, cool. F110. Chris loves his. I've got to say, I do love mine when I go out, and it's not the most waterproof thing I own. It's not the heaviest, but it is pretty bulky. But you've got plenty of room, plenty of ventilation. It is a cracking little tent there. For bushcrafty stuff. I took mine to Dartmoor with the wife. Not really the best idea on Dartmoor. To be fair, it done fine for what we needed it. As we were leaving, it did start to leak a little, but.
Well, at Van Gogh do make some pucker sleeping bags. They do make some decent tents, but they don't. You've got the what's the standard Van Gogh tent? That is just so popular.
Banshee.
Yes, Banshee. That's the one. Yeah, cracking little tent.
But loads of people moan about it.
Yeah, and there's loads of videos doing mods on them, and you get your tent to fit how you want. Now, probably my go-to tent is a Wild Country Zephos 2 compact. So it's a 2-man tent because I want a bit of room just to jig about. I don't want a 1-man tent because I want to stretch out. I want to get a bag in there with me. I'm not leaving my bag outside. What? What?
Well, you pay for it.
Yeah. So that's the tent I use, but you watch the reviews on it, people hate it because the outer fly sheet clips to the inner. So when it rains, your inner gets all wet. And I was like, well, why don't they just put a clothes peg on it? So I've modified mine. So I just scroll it up and put a clothes peg on it, and it's perfectly decent. For the weight of a little stainless steel clothes peg that's 2 grams, it's a decent tent. But
Decathlon is the best budget brand out there. They do take some beating. Got to say, with the exception of one rucksack, they have been absolutely the bollocks for me. Their hammocks ain't all that, but they hang. You get to sleep in them.
I like Decathlon stuff. They do some really nice gloves. They do because they do a lot of ski wear, and there's some of that ski wear kind of translates over into bushcraft and hiking. So base layers, they're the tits for water bottles and stuff like that. They're really good. And even their like climbing stuff, their carabiners are bloody cheap. So if you want carabiners for hanging your hammock, go to Decathlon and just buy some carabiners from there because they're decent rated. They're 20 odd newtons or whatever. So pretty good. Mac Tightwad is a good one. Yes, Mac Tightwad is an absolute legend. He lives just up the road from me. Really love him. Cracking bloke. He actually, when I was starting out and I was making my own kit, he actually lent me his sewing machine. Just gave it to me and said, "Have it as long as you need it." So yeah, absolutely cracking bloke, Mac Tightwad, and he sends people stuff all the time. Really, really nice bloke. My best tent is my Polish Lavu. Yes, I do love Lavu. I like a Lavu. They're heavy, and there's loads of mods you can do to them. Waterproofing, adding zips to them, and putting candle wax on the back of the buttons so the water can't get in. I actually did a video where I did an underground heating system for it. That's well worth a watch because that was the bollocks. I was so warm. It worked so well.
I like the half Lavu and all. That's a good camp.
I've not done a half Lavu. I've done a couple of Lavu camps, and then you end up doing other stuff. But
it depends. There's certainly enough room for one in a Lavu. You get different sizes and all.
Yeah, I've seen people like them doing mods to it and adding a skirt to the bottom and jacking it up a bit higher to make it more of a 2-man tent. But it is designed to be a 2-man tent because it's 2 ponchos tied together, isn't it?
And don't get me wrong, if I got that as a squaddy, I'd have been happy keeping that compared to where we used to keep.
Now, what I would like is exactly the same thing made with lightweight material.
Yeah.
2 ponchos that would pack up like tiny. It would be like the size of a Coke can.
Look, but you could do that with 2 of the ponchos that you buy, 3FUL ponchos, and make a decent shelter.
Oh yeah, you can make some sort of shelter, but a poncho where it's designed to click together.
Yeah,
in a triangle.
It would lose something if it was made of lightweight material. The beautiful thing about Lavu is obviously it don't burn, or you can have a fire nearby, and it don't let any light in.
Yeah,
so it keeps you cool. It's that is the beauty of it. You start chucking lightweight material at it, and that all goes out the window.
Yeah, and then you got to have an inner tent as well because you haven't got canvas, and it just makes a rod for its own back. But there are loads of versions of. I think one Tigris have done something similar. That's all lightweight, but every single time you're thinking about a tent, you waste it. You throw £100 in the bin.
Yeah, backwards bungalow. I really like the look of that, and
Yeah.
I do intend on getting one.
Yeah.
Is the Lanshan worth the purchase? For what I paid for it, 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
What I used it for that coast to coast, I don't think I could have asked for a better tent. Certainly not in that price range. It held everything. It kept me dry. It was light as anything. You could cook in the vestibule. Would I use it again for the coast to coast? No, I wouldn't. I would go for a tarp. I'm done with tents. I'm still going to use them. I've got them. But you can't beat tarp camping.
Yeah. Mac Tightwad, aka Eddie, will make you one, Bruce. No, he won't make me one because Ed hates me. Because he said that's a bit Gaylord on Instagram, and I reported him for it. So Matt now hates me because I'm a grass. No, I talk to Ed every day, but he does wind me up about it. I think he doesn't like that I grassed him up on Instagram. But the thing is, my Instagram, I get kids looking at my Instagram, so putting comments like that kind of cheese me off a bit. Where was the Lanshan? I've got the Lanshan now. Where I'm probably a bit taller than average, I like 6 foot. My toes touch one end and my head hits the other. I wish I got the Lanshan 2 when I summed up to buy it. I think it was Nobby's video that I saw, or Hayes, and I was like, that looks really good. It's nice and light, but it's just too small, and the vestibule is too small. I can't get my bag in there. So you got to leave your bag outside.
I didn't have that problem.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
saying that I do peg mine really high.
Yeah.
I do like a nice breeze coming through, so it was covered.
Yeah. Well, when I camped with mine, I was 600 meters. Sicklin Tarn, right next to Scaffold Pike. So yeah, so I was camping at altitude. It was pretty windy, but it did stand up to it. And I had a decent night's kip, and it was all right. And all of the other mountain leaders I was with, were a couple of winter mountain leaders, they were like, "Oh, the bloody thing's going to blow away. I've got my super duper 600 quid tent," and I was like, "No, this is like 50 quid off AliExpress." And yeah, it stood up all night. It was absolutely fine, no problems at all. But it was just that little bit short.
And I agree with you there. I'm 5'9" and a fag butt, and if I moved one way or another, I was nutting screen.
Yeah, but I wish I'd got the Lanshan 2. The 2-man with 2 poles, doors either side of it. It's just ultimately a better tent all the way around.
After the skyrocketing on both of them now, though, aren't they?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Now they're like nearly like, what are they, 80, 90 quid, 100 quid. You might as well go and buy yourself a Wild Country, which I did.
Yeah.
So you go on Westfields Outdoors, you can get a Wild Country tent for 100 quid. And that's a perfectly decent tent, and it's what, all of the mountain leader type people would recommend. So, you can go for a Terra Nova. You can spend 600 quid on a Cuban fiber Terra Nova, but what's the point? There is no point.
Vesper Tim, do you recommend military stuff?
Yes.
It all depends what you want. Well, depends. If you're going hiking, no.
Yeah, for bushcraft, military stuff, it's cheap. It will take ridiculous amounts of weight. So bushcraft-wise, 120-litre Bergen, right? So you've got 100-litre Bergen and then 2 rocket pouches on the side. You can put your pots and your pans and your Dutch ovens and your tarps and all sorts of shit in it, and then go in the woods and have a play. And that will take the weight. You can load that up with a ridiculous amount of weight. That will take like 60, 70 kilos. And all you need to do is get to your car, waddle over to your camp, and you're done. You're not hiking any distance, military stuff all day long.
The versatility of it. I mean, I always go back to that bridge hammock I made out of Basher.
Yeah.
It was a proper comfy hammock. And if it got too bad in that, I'll take it down and I'll make a lean-to or whatever out of it, a tarp tent out of it. Yeah, defo. I love the kit. I've got plenty of British Army stuff. Got plenty of other Army stuff.
Yeah, go on Facebook and just put in like surplus, army, things like that, right? I picked up a brand spanking new in the plastic 120 litre Bergen with the inner waterproof pouches, and the geezer wanted 15 quid for it.
Oh, did you get it?
Yeah, of course I fucking did. It's in my loft and it's just too mint to use because I've already got one. So it's just like, what am I going to do with it? I'm going to, well, do I want to sell it? Do I want to keep it because it's shiny? I don't know.
Flog it over.
Yeah, I probably will end up flogging it in the long run, but at the moment, or I could just do it as a giveaway.
See, someone's Saber Max here, one Tigris arm wall tent with mesh inner and stove jack. I've seen a lot of them about. I don't know. I'm not convinced by a lightweight tent and a stove. I think it's an accident waiting to happen. That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, canvas, you've got the reliability, but you've got the weight. It's always a trade-off. Everything is a trade-off. Now, you can go to Tesco's and you can get a tent that weighs 1.5 kilos, but it's a POS. Piece of shit, right? Or you could buy a aluminium pole Wild Country tent or Terra Nova tent or some other decent make out kit that's 1.5 kilos, and that's going to cost you about 200 quid, but it ain't a Tesco value tent. It's just different. It's different. And until you've used this gear and touched it and felt it and feel the quality of it, you don't really know. Probably one of the best cheap tents I've got was a Berghaus 3.1. That's a wicked tent. It's based on a on a Terra Nova, but it's just one hoop, peg it all out. But the bloody thing's bright red, so not very good for stealth camps or mountain camps. But it's a cracking tent, and I got it on eBay for 40 quid. Now, usually they sell them for about 90 to 100 quid, and there's a lightweight one which I got my eye on, and if I see one cheap enough, I will get it. But it's about 120 quid. But that's 1.9 kilos, but just a cracking tent. And the inner is black, so it's really dark as well. So you get a decent night's kip, especially when the days get longer.
Kevlar do those tents, and they call them cool and fresh, don't they? Where it's got this white covering on the outside, which keeps it cool when it's hot and sunny.
Right.
Black on the inside, so it's pitch black and all.
Yeah, it's a big thing having a dark tent. That's really, really important with a tent, because when the sun comes up at like 4 a.m. and you're awake and you're like, oh, cock, and you're like trying to hide your head in your sleeping bag. No, not good, not good.
Yeah, people are offering to buy your stuff, mate.
Keep drinking, chaps. The conversation's getting better.
Fill it full of ferro rods. Do you know the amount of people who offer to buy my stuff? If they actually saw it up close,
yeah,
all my stuff works, and it works absolutely brilliant. There's a reason why I don't make stuff like the Gamekeeper John catapults. I can shoot with pigeon, not with you, Bruce. I can shoot with pigeon with one of my catapults easy. Just like his, but his look lovely. Mine look like I've gone to town on them. And with everything I make, the guitars, the whatever, the stove last week.
It's rustic.
It's
rustic,
right? The meat works out all right.
Yeah. I've got to get back on the homebrew. I used to do loads of homebrewing. I've even got a still sitting upstairs.
Mate, get on the meat.
I'm not a fan of honey.
Oh no! Right, you obviously don't watch my videos, you mongrel. Right, if you go and get the what was it I used? The maple syrup ice cream topping.
Yeah.
Use that instead of honey. It comes out tasting like sherry.
Oh,
Really,
that's-
it's really good.
I must have missed that one.
Yeah, I've only made 2 mead videos.
Well, it's because I don't like mead. Because I don't like honey.
38.
Is there anything
minutes.
else? Is there anything else you would eat that's had insects crawling all over it? No.
Yeah, Jew's ear.
You wouldn't eat it though.
I did eat it.
I think my highlight of the weekend was after eating cooked Jew's ear that tastes like warm snot. It was disgusting. On the way back up, we found some more, and I said, "Actually, it tastes really good raw." And Lee ate more of it,
Oh, game.
and then swore at me. That was so funny.
I'll eat it again, but it tastes like
You
shit.
pair like an old married couple. Shut up, Chris.
It's a taker.
Yeah,
Only go for take it.
yeah. That was a quality camp. We definitely need to get some more done.
I.e. cold snow wind. I'll tell you what the worst camp I ever had, and I was a 16-year-old lad just joining the army. I've probably told this tale before. I was up in Sennybridge training area. Middle of winter, 5th of December, the exercise started, and we all went out and got piss wet through. When you first sign up, you don't have bivvy bags or anything like that. They give you a bleeding sleeping bag, you put it in, it got piss wet through. Didn't work with carrot. Come back from stag, got in the DOS bag, absolutely frozen, as the DOS bag was ice. Completely frozen where it was piss wet through a -5. And I had, I don't know, I tried to get a kit for about an hour or so. I had to crawl out on my hands because I couldn't use my legs. My legs had just gone. And I climbed up a fucking tree, went to stand up straight on my face, and I spent the next half hour doing press-ups and burpees and that, just trying to get a bit of feeling back in my body. It was hideous. There you go.
Yeah, sod that. I've had a worse camp. I've had a camp that's gone totally feet tongue, really.
Well, I mean, that one where I got, I can't remember, one of my subs come back and told us how windy it got when I was on that point. You know, when I bowed about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, when the landslip.
Yeah. And it was,
Yeah.
it was smashing me, give or take 100 mile an hour at the end of that. I thought it was only about 70 mile an hour.
No.
That shelter done bloody well. Me, not
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's having that common sense to actually bail. So I'm having a look through
I'm scanning through the roads on my essential journeys trying to find estate agent signs. I'll tell you what, mate, look, it's still there. It's the only thing left standing after my guitar went for a burn.
Yeah, but that Corex is heat resistant. So we used to use it when I was welding to protect, put it over stuff and welding sparks will just roll down it. So it's pretty heat resistant. It's decent stuff.
Well, my missus every morning makes herself some porridge in a saucepan. We got those cast iron things.
Yep.
And she comes in here and she eats it out the saucepan.
Right.
Party lady. But she sits it on that straight off the hob.
That's
and
good.
there ain't a problem. So
No, that's good. That's good. Because I was going to buy a load of Corex and then use it for sticking insulation up in my loft, in the roof of the loft, and then pin just like thumbtack the insulation up there. But
it's good for stuff like if you build a little cabiny type thing and you're gonna, what do you call it? Stick timber on the outside.
Yep.
If you put sheets of Corex behind that timber, it's your VPL. It's cheap as buggery. It's only a couple of quid.
Yeah, well, those permeable membranes, you can make a bivvy bag out of those as well.
Mm.
It's basically like Tyvek, isn't it? It's that similar kind of gear.
A lot thicker over here though. A lot more rustly and all. I've got loads of crap.
Yeah, but it's better than now.
Oh yeah, defo. I don't own an iron wall, but Outdoor Gear recently done an overnight review with the stove inside and had good things to say about it. I don't doubt it works, mate. What I'm saying is, with it being lightweight, look, Ant from Survive the Night, his branch snapped where he had his tied up. I think that was an iron wall he had. And the thing come down, and it could have just melted and set on fire. It just... Why would you need a heater in a tent in Britain?
Yeah, that's the thing, and you know,
I just don't see the point.
Yeah, I've got a Scout Army tent, and I've bought the stove hole, and I've got the Frontier stove, and Frontier stoves, shocker coming, are crap. They do not kick out enough heat. The chimney is not big enough. It does not draw. You have to load them every hour. Unless you're putting coal in them, they're useless. So if you're just foraging wood that's maybe a little bit damp, then they're crap. They just don't draw. They don't kick out enough heat. Cooking on them is a mission. They also clog up as well because they haven't got a grill in the bottom, so they don't get any airflow. So a good mod is to cut a grill and stick in the bottom of them. But Frontier stoves are just pants, really. I think it's just one of those things that, you know, raymears.com tells you need to buy, but they're fairly pointless. The best thing to do is just buy, bring a duvet with you or buy a decent sleeping bag.
I'm all for. I've been looking at painting type, making a little stove, which if you've got a little permanent lean-to shelter or something down the woods, it could be quite nice. You put a kettle on it in the morning. I'll get all of that. I just don't really want to, turn into Nicky Lauder by having a camp in the woods with a fucking ripstop tent and a big heated chimney.
Yeah, exactly. How many people we got watching?
38.
38 still here. What is wrong with you people?
I haven't actually checked YouTube yet. By all means, if you want to hit a like, please hit a like. If you want to subscribe. Yeah. If you want to subscribe to Bruce, this ain't wrong with you, but hook a brother up.
Okay, what do you want to know about? Do you want to know something interesting? Trying to think of something interesting.
Good luck with that.
Who wants to know about phototropism?
Oh my God.
The comments have stopped. I think everyone's died. I think they're just laying there dribbling down their fronts because they're bored.
At least they know what way up they are.
No, still no comments. I think they're all dead. Actually, phototropism is actually really, really useful. That helps you navigate with. So I'll explain it anyway because I'm a prick. Right, so the tree branches on a tree, right? Now, if there's loads of sun around, right? So we'll say this Lee is the sun, his little happy face. Sorry, that way. No, sorry, that way. No, that way. All right, so the branches will grow flat, yeah, because they get more sunlight. Now, the other side of the tree, they tip up slightly because there's a hormone that's released that tips the branches up that makes the shaded side of the tree grow more, right? So that tick shape, yeah? So you've got some branches growing flat so they get better photosynthesis, and you got some that tip up. That is photosynthesis, okay? So this side, everything's reversed, is the north. This side is the south. So you look at a tree, you can see which way it's growing. You know which way is north and south. Thank you. Natural navigation. Tristan Gooley in the house. Yes.
Well, that got rid of another 5.
I've got a lovely set of Ghoulies on my shelf. Ever used an AquaQuest Defender Series top? No.
Do you know, I almost had a word of myself the other day. I actually looked at a hooped bivvy. And then I went, what the are you doing? Nearly bought a hoop bivvy.
Hoop bivvies are awesome.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
Bruce, right? I like you. You're wrong.
So hoop bivvy is. I've got the. Oh my god! Is it a British hoop bivvy? But it's got a bug net in it as well.
The Dutch
So
Army one.
Yeah, maybe the Dutch one. I don't know.
£100 to sleep in a fucking coffin.
Oh God, no! £100, and give it to me.
Leave it outside. All your kit outside.
Yeah, leaving all your kit outside is a ball ache. Yeah,
Get in when you're wet. Yeah. What is the point of them then?
there's no point.
No.
But in the summer they've got a bug net, and so you can leave it open and have the bug net, which stops the midges from eating your face, which is pretty decent.
Buy a £10 bug net off of eBay and take it with you in a tarp.
Yeah, there is that.
Right, let's see how many more people are wrong down here. See you later, Border Rambler, mate. Said Dave even.
Many vines are opposite phototropism, growing away from the light. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, ivy actually changes. It starts off with positive phototropism and then ends up with negative phototropism, so it can grow up trees and stuff.
Play us a time, I guess that's tune on the Wank Twang guitar. Love both your channels, Andrew Buttery.
Andrew Buttery, I've never heard of you. You need to comment, mate.
Yes.
No, you need to comment on my channel.
Oh, right.
No, just say hello. Say hi. Hi, Bruce.
Who formed the first Marine Commando group? I did know this. I ain't got Scoobies now. Baden-Powell.
No idea.
I'll keep thinking of the hoop bivvy, then I think, nah, that's because you're right, Leslie. I like room to move, not lay like a sardine tin. See, I'm telling you, Bruce, you're wrong. Everyone's right.
No, I quite like the Dutch Army bivvy because it camos me as well. So what we usually do, because I go camping with kids generally, so we have all the girls sleeping somewhere. Stop looking at me like you perv. So all the girls will sleep in one camp and the boys will sleep in another camp, and then I'll be camping somewhere in the middle. But I'll be stealthing the shit out of it, so the kids don't know where the hell I am.
I don't know if that's genius or creepy as fuck.
Yeah, but it's we'll have like the volunteers and other members of staff will camp in one area, and then I'll camp somewhere where I can keep an eye on both camps.
See, new Forrest Gump. It was Simon a Bloke in the Woods that got me thinking about getting into a bivvy. That's why I was looking at him. But it just goes to show Simon's a knowledgeable man. He's a well-presented man. He can still be wrong. And that just proves it.
Yeah. No, bivvies. So you got a bivvy, what's that, 500 grams for a bivvy? If you think the weather is looking relatively good, then go for a bivvy. Yes.
Are you talking a bivvy or a hoop bivvy?
Just a bog standard bivvy or a hoop bivvy. Doesn't really matter.
They have a place. It's the hoop bivvy. I don't get it. How many people in hooped bivvies have you seen in the rain in just the hooped bivvy?
Me.
What, with no tarp over it?
No.
How'd you kit? Fair.
Fine.
You didn't have a miserable night in a hoop bivvy in the rain?
No, it's fine.
You never got in that hoop bivvy wet?
Nope.
Yeah, you're just trying to justify spending that money. Even though that was too much.
Yeah, they're people complain they're really claustrophobic. But yeah, a tent, way better. Because the hoop bivvy, because it's Gore-Tex, it's heavy, it's a pain in the arse, to be honest.
What's wrong with just a tarp?
Well, just the top. Then you want to take a bivvy bag with you anyway. Otherwise, you're gonna get your sleeping bag wet.
Right. Not disagreeing.
So when you're out for like a 2-3 night camp, you need to do everything you can to mitigate keeping your sleeping bag as dry as possible.
Right. So that would say do not sleep in a bivvy because most of them make you sweat.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Right. Barney, you're wrong. I'm not just going to keep saying this.
Good for stealth, throwing down beside the trail. And you can store loads of kit inside too. You really can't steal much kit. You can stick like stuff up around your head in that area. Yes, I'll go along with that. But your bag generally has to sit outside with the rain cover over it.
So Ian Fleming was the answer to the Marine Corps. Look at that. Cheers, Robert.
Oh, well done, Robert. I still wouldn't get one.
See, an army bivvy, a bivvy bag, not an issue with that. Not an issue at all. It serves a purpose. It's relatively light, keeps you dry. You know, 90% of the people I see using them put up a tarp above them. You've got to put up a tarp above them. Get a normal bivvy bag and keep under the tarp.
Yeah.
What are you gaining by getting inside a bivvy under a tarp?
Yeah.
A little bit of warmth. But I've got a Tyvek bivvy and all, Leslie. They're pretty damn good.
Yeah, they're a bit small though. They are. They're a bit small. They're a bit small. They're a bit too tight. Because
down on your pork pies, mate. Get some exercise.
So with like the British Army standard bivvy bag, they're just huge. You know, you can pull it up over your head. You can roll over if it gets wet, if it starts raining, and just lay down face down, and you can survive the night. You'll be all right. But the soon as they think, oh, I can make this bivvy bag weigh 100 grams, they're going to make it out of thinner material that's going to be crap, and they're going to make it smaller, which is going to be. So,
how do you rate that Tyvek one, Bruce? Apart from the size of it,
it's all right. It's all right, but it is too small. You basically can only just fit a normal sleeping bag in it.
I must have got a large one.
And the zip is in the middle, which I don't like. It'd be better if it had a side zip, because if the water's falling on you, you're screwed, because it's not really a very waterproof zip, is it?
Well, no, but you could solve all of those problems quite easily, couldn't you?
Not have a zip at all.
Put it up like a blanket over you, upside down. Why do you need to get underneath you? You're on an air mat or a mat. On a ground sheet normally.
Yeah, but then you can't get into it because it's too bloody small. If it was big enough, like a military one,
unzip it. Put it over like a top quilt.
But when I camped in it, it was like the perfect night. It was bloody warm, and there was no need for it anyway. I might as well just got my sleeping bag and slept on my roll mat.
I can't wait for my first camp. I don't know what first camp to do back.
Oh, I got the virus.
I'd love to say hammock because oh look, Woogie's got a boogie. You're right, mate.
I got the black lung.
Black lung.
Yeah. Ex-squaddy, use army bivvy loads. Yes, definitely. The Alp kit. Sorry.
Right, people, when he comes back, keep typing up that he's got a great big fucking booger hanging out of his snout. You will never know.
Okay, I'm better. Yeah, so Alp kit do a hunker bivvy, which is a decent size, and the army standard surplus bivvies are really good, as long as you reproof them, because generally they need reproofing. But a lot of the other bivvies like Rab and bivvies like that, they're just too bloody small. Now, the idea of a bivvy is if your clothes are wet or damp, you get your clothes and you stick them between your sleeping bag and your bivvy, stuff them all down there to keep them warm and possibly dry out during the night. But with a really tight, small, lightweight bivvy, you're screwed. So you might as well just take an army bivvy. It's reliable and it's going to work, and you're going to have a bit more space. Bogey alert! Massive bogey hanging. No.
You clatty git.
Well, Ginger Snot. Army bivvy every time. There you go. Well done, Steve. What?
Thanks, guys. That made my night.
It's my allergies, man.
Have you?
Yeah.
Were you allergic to indoors?
I'm allergic to gingers.
Oh, fair one. Something hanging from your beard. I ain't telling him.
Something hanging from your bed? No, it's not.
All right, a couple I've missed here. Let's have a look. Hydrostatic resistance.
Serious question. Do you take a torch? Yes, always take a torch. And take 2 torches.
Yeah.
Okay, the first torch dies. So you're better off having a rechargeable torch that is one you could take the battery out, take the rechargeable battery out and put spare batteries in. I think I've got an Alp kit one, which is pretty decent. I was absolutely furious, and Lee will attest to this. We were asked by Olight to test the torch, 1,000 lumen torch. I was like, yes, that is the perfect torch for me. Being a mountain leader, that is going to be the bestest thing in the world. 1,000 lumens. I can, if a kid wanders off, I'll be able to find them. Only thing is, Olight's stupid charging system has got a massive magnet in it, and I'm not putting a magnet in my kit because it will depolarize my compass, and my compass is more important than my bloody torch. So Olight, sort it out. All you need to do is have a screw-on cap or a battery cover that doesn't have the charging system on it. So I charge the battery up using your stupid bloody charging system, screw the other cover on it, and then it's completely sealed unit, and then it lasts as long as the battery lasts. And if I want to charge it, I put a different cover on it. That's all it would take. I've told Olight this. They did not listen. They told me I was an idiot. But if you put a neodymium magnet near a compass, you are going to kill it.
They got the ump with me because I depicted scenes of dogging in my review video.
And
Lee Hargreaves, mate, you've let me down. You should embrace the slugs and spiders and stuff. On the way back, sorry, mate, I've DEFCON 5 bivvy bag. Can we catch that through the interwebs? Wool blankets, yes or no? Yes, every day of the week.
Yes, wool is amazing. Love wool. Wool for bushcraft. Wool blankets, wool jumpers, anything wool you can get hold of. Now, do not go to Edinburgh Woolen Mill because you won't get anything made of wool. It's all acrylic shit. But if you can find 100% wool, buy it. So it's a job for charity shops, really.
If they're getting hard to come by in charity shops, I found one not so long back and I'm chuffed a bit. So I was thinking about making a bushcraft smock out of it. What are they called? You know what they're called?
A twat coat.
A twat coat. I was going to make a twat coat out of it.
Yeah. The thing is, a lot of the bushcraft coats that you see made would you really want anyone to see you wearing that? No, probably not.
I think Leslie says there she likes the idea of a bivvy, but I like the tent. Keeps the bugs and slugs out. Now, with the bugs and slugs, you could always get one of those little mesh bivvy things, like not the one I bought, it was tiny. You'll probably be all right, Leslie, to be fair. But yeah, you can always get them to stick up, and they're smaller than the other crap. I'm not a Culver regular, mate. I've been down Culver quite a few times. But no, not regular. Culver's on the Isle of Wight. It's a good little fishing spot as well. I went to my major. He said the British commander assigned me a torch. I used to have the old right angle torches when I was in the mob. They were shite. Wall socks, definitely.
Yes. Yeah, merino, if you can get it.
Love charity shops for wool. Chris Worthington as well got a wool blanket from a charity shop. Spiker CC spent half the night building a torch to find out he meant flashlight. What did you think a torch meant? Right, Bruce, keep entertained for 30 seconds. I've just got to disappear for a little bit.
Okay. I use 2 USB rechargeable flashlights, rechargeable headlamp, rechargeable NATO radio, power pack. Yeah, that's the way to go. That's the way to go. So keep stuff rechargeable because you can always carry a power pack. So you can charge your phone, you can charge your torches. And it all depends how long you're going to be out for. Now, it's being really, really sparing with it. But if you've got to go out and do night navigation, and you're walking across the hills in the absolute pitch black, then you're going to need a torch, and it's going to hammer it because you're going to need to look for distance. So you're going to need to have it on as bright as possible. Now, for bushcraft, the best torch I've got for bushcraft is a Poundland torch. Right, so Poundland torch, it's got like maximum brightness. It's like 10 LEDs. Minimum brightness is 1 LED. 1 LED in the center of the torch. I can see where I'm going. That's all I bloody need, and that will last for ages. So with that Olight torch that we were talking about earlier, that's got a moon mode on it, which is brilliant. The functions of the Olight torch I've no problem with at all, but the moon mode, it will go like 8 days or something crazy on one charge, which is fantastic. It's just the charging system that really annoys me because the magnet is just it's a deal breaker. US torch is a stick on fire. Okay, yeah. So America's idea of a torch is more of a lantern. Best boots for hiking. I really get on well with Scarpa. So I've got some Scarpa GTXs and I've got some Scarpa other boots as well. But Scarpa seem to be a really good fit for me. Now, the problem I have, I'm size 10, so I'm a 44 or 45, which is either a 9.5 or a 10.5 or 11 or something like that. I can't remember what it is, but it seems to be the crossover point being a size 10. But Scarpas seem to fit really, really well. So, yeah, crack on with Scarpas. But then also, if budget is a problem, there's also Hayeks. What's the name of them? Yeah, Hakes and Altbergs. High liability, Hakes. They're brilliant. Really, really good boots. They're a little bit high for doing mountain stuff, but for wandering in the woods, they're absolutely perfect. And they've got a rand. So a rand is the rubber seal that goes around the top of the boot. So if you're walking through a lot of water, so it's like a semi-welly boot, about 1.5 inches up. So yeah, Hakes and Altbergs, really, really good. What stove do you favour for a day pack? alcohol, twig, or gas. I would personally go for gas out on the hills. I've got a BBS, I think it is, titanium little tiny stove with a gas can. I really do like a Trangia though, because it's silent. Because when you're sitting there cooking your dinner, you just got this roar. It's properly irritating. But Trangias, they're just silent and they're nice and relaxed and they're chilled out. If you haven't got a campfire, I'd go for a Trangia, to be honest.
With myself, it'll always be the fancy feast. If I was on my Todd, if I was going out with the kids, it would probably be a twig stove, purely because you can keep it going and cook a massive, great big bowl of chili on it. You ain't gonna have that sort of time out of a mess burner. Well, you would. You can always keep refilling it and crap, but
yeah. Itchy feet, Solomon or Scarpa? Yeah, definitely. I would say Scarpa. Scarpa or oh god, what's the name of them? You can tell I've had too much to drink. La Sportiva. Sportiva boots are just like the best you can get. They're amazing.
who formed the SAS? Baden Powell.
A Scotsman. Little wood gas. Yeah, wood gas stoves are great if you're camping somewhere where there's wood.
Yeah, unless you're bringing cat litter.
Jetboils. Now, I've got issues with Jetboil. Right, so Jetboil, they used to sell the sparker to ignite it. Right, used to be £1.99, and you could buy a replacement sparker, £1.99. Boom, put the new sparker in, all golden. They stopped selling their sparkers. So now, when your sparker breaks, you have to spend £35 to buy a new burner. Jetboil, no. Why not go on to Planet X and buy a Jobsworth stove for £19.99 and throw your Jetboil in the bin? Unfortunately, Jetboil have kind of put themselves into a corner because they've stitched you up on spare parts. You can no longer get the Striker, which is a bit pants. And unless you go and want to light it with a lighter every time, but the click lighter is really useful in a Jetboil. What else we got? Yeah.
Solar Lantern, Altbergs, that's Sterling.
Altbergs are brilliant. Yeah, they are. Altbergs are good. Hakes are good. Army boots, yeah. All army boots. My Jetboil doesn't have an igniter.
How many people take like fresh veg in that when they go to camp? On one of my last camps I've done, I actually cooked up a meal rather than just slapping a steak on a fire, a bit of bacon over a twig or whatever. I actually cooked a meal, and I properly loved it. How many people do actually take fresh ingredients in with them? I know that like that Mari, what's her name? Fun-sized Earthling. She cooks some proper nosh when she's out camping. Looks a bit vegan for my liking, though.
Nothing wrong with vegan.
Yes, there is.
No, vegetarian I can handle, but vegan, yeah, is a little bit too much, too pedantic.
I don't do fresh fruit, but I do fresh fruit, but I don't cook veg. Liking your style and attitude, Bruce.
My attitude.
Spend 3 days with him eating whelks.
It's eating Jews here for 3 days. Lee was well happy to get rid of me.
Not at all. It was awesome.
Hayes' fish and chips.
Possibly. I haven't seen it.
Roasting chickens in a zebra billy. I suppose, yes. I suppose it's doable. But something like a Dutch oven, yeah, that'd be really, really good. The thing is, there's this weird crossover between bushcraft, right? Bushcraft stuff weighs a metric fuck ton, right?
Yeah.
Because you're carrying Dutch ovens, you're carrying axes and knives and all the heavy metalwork. Then you've got lightweight, ultralight camping, hiking, walking up in the mountains. They're two totally separate things, right? So if Dutch oven, yes, you can stick a pizza in it. You can cook chickens. You could cook a leg of deer, whatever you want. But if you're ultralight camping, you'll be nomming on ration packs and porridge and rehydrating crap and just trying to keep it as light as possible because you've got to carry that crap.
So quick scroll through here. Depends on what we all fancy cooking at camp. Always eat proper food on a camp. Can't stand rack packs and the veg meals. I'm not a fan of rack packs, mate. The taste of the thing is good. They work, but they bung you up. And yeah,
the one I do like is couscous. Couscous is amazing.
Couscous and fish.
Yeah, so you get a can of tuna, or you get the packets of tuna. John West do packets of tuna, and that with couscous, really, really good meal.
Yeah,
and it's like 16 grams of protein per 100 grams or whatever. So, couscous is a decent one, and you just go in Aldi, buy a shite load of packets of couscous. Good stuff, and it's actually better than rice and lighter than rice as well.
Right, where are we? Invite me.
Just eat something dehydrated and simple. Yeah, so pepper armies and couscous. So one time I was with a group of kids and they were being a pain in the ass packing their kit. So they kept like saying, "Oh, I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that." So basically, I forgot to grab my ration packs. So out on the hill, all I had was 2 packets of porridge, some gummy bears, and a pepper army. Right, that was all I had to eat. Right, so for dinner, I had porridge with pepper army, which was amazing. It was properly nice. So, and then in the morning, I had gummy bears and I had some chocolate as well. I had chocolate gummy bears porridge in the morning, and that was just as good. So, kind of saved my life a little bit just from that random crap that you always carry in your sort of emergency kit.
Normally cook stewed beef chili. Yep, that's all good eating. Thank you very much, Robert.
Thank you, Robert. Nobby, have you got any more homebrew recipes you can do as a vid as lockdown has turned into a massive piss up? So soon, very, very soon, we're going to have elderflowers coming out.
That you can't go out and pick.
Yes, you can. It's exercise. It's exercise, man. It's exercise. So elderflower champagne. Oh my God! You don't even need the yeast because yeast is actually becoming quite a difficult thing to buy because everyone's making loaves of bread. But elderflower will self ferment because it contains yeast by itself for reasons. But yeah, elderflower champagne, that's the one you want to look for. You can also make stinging nettle beer, but only use the tips of the stinging nettles. Don't use the lower down leaves because they contain calcium, and there's a theory that they can actually give you kidney stones and stuff like that. So yeah, only pick the sprigs. So stinging nettles are actually related to hops. And hops is also related to cannabis. So very similar kind of general plant. That is why hemp is really good for making rope, and nettles is also for making rope. They're just a very that same sort of genesis of plants. But yeah.
As for adaptations, if you want the quick and simple, easiest method, crack that mead. If you want a red wine type version, add fruit. Play around with it. It's flavour it however you want to bleed and flavour it. The only one I've had that was a little bit suspect, and it's more to do with me leaving it in for too long, really. I made like an orange and cinnamon one. And it's all right. I mean, you can drink it and get larrupped, but I wouldn't order it. The other stuff has come out top notch. But yeah, flavoured, put a bit of coffee in there, do what you blame like. I don't know. At the end of the day, you're going to waste the price of a 5 litre bottle of water and, you know, buying all the yeast and stuff, wine yeast off Amazon is cheap as chips. I've made God knows how much of stuff, and everyone I've given bottles to have enjoyed it as well. And they're not, as you can tell, if it's shit, they'll tell me.
True.
Yeah.
So
adapt it.
I made an Alco Pop, right? So next time you are going to buy vital supplies at your local supermarket, right? So you need to buy a bottle of cordial, right? So find a cordial, a cheap and nasty cordial. Make sure it's got the phenylalanine sweetener in it. Okay, so a cheap as chips sweetener. It will contain sugar and it will contain synthetic sweeteners. Now, yeast does not eat synthetic sweeteners. Okay, so you will need to buy a bottle of cordial. You will need to buy a couple of bags of sugar, and you will need to buy some bread yeast. Then you will need to buy however many litres you want to make of 17p 2 litre bottles of Tesco's water. Okay. This is just to give you the bottles because you could just use tap water if you wanted. Heat up some of the water, get it to the right temperature, bung it all in together, bung the yeast in. The yeast will eat the kilo of sugar and it will leave behind the sweeteners. The sweeteners will make it taste relatively decent. So you'll end up with some sort of wild berry homebrew Alco Pop type thing within about 7 days. If you left it a month, it would actually taste decent. If you left it a week, it would aid digestive transit because it's the same stuff that's in probiotic yogurt, so it would give you the shits, basically. Was that well enough explained, Nobby? So you can get shit face for £1.50.
Yeah. And why not? Done a great job. Have you ever had kids refuse to soldier on the hill?
Yes, I have. And I go, okay, you stay there. We're going to go. See you later, son. And usually they will just follow on. And the thing is, like, you say, look, mate, you can either walk all that way back, but this way forward, you'll be home quicker. Every step you take forward is a step closer to home.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to be a muppet and let everyone else sit in the cold and everyone else get miserable, then crack on. But you're not going back the way we came because that's a lot further. It is a lie because the way up is a lot further, but there you go. But the thing is, when you're walking in the hills, you need to give up. And there becomes that stage where you're like, I don't like it. My legs hurt. I don't like it. I don't like it. Just give up. Give up moaning. Give up all hope because you're going to do this 8-mile circuit or 10-mile circuit or whatever it is. And then it's going to be over with. And then you can go, way, I did it. And then we can have dinner and then we can talk about it all and say, didn't you do well? Pats on the backs all round. You've grown as a human being. Isn't that good? That's basically my job, is making children cry.
Herding cats.
Yeah, herding cats. My wife has got me a cup with tears of inconsolable sadness written on it. Children's tears of inconsolable sadness. Because that's basically what I do. Is just kids, I can't do it. Yeah, you can do it. And then the kids go, oh my God, I got to the top. This is amazing.
if on an extended backcountry trip, real mills take up far too much weight and room. Also, bears, wolves, coyotes, they like fresh meat. No, that's a very good. There's always a place for dry stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm merely asking. I enjoyed the meal. I love me steaks and stuff like that, but it was just nice to actually sit down, take your time, have fresh spring onions and crap, and cook up. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that is our crossover between ultralight camping and just getting. Yeah, there's people that do ultralight camping and they won't even take a stove with them. It's all this soaking now, so they just get a pot. They put their noodles and their bits of salami in it, pour some water in it, screw it shut, chuck it in their backpack, and then like 3 hours later, once it's all soaked up the water, they'll sit there and eat their cold, miserable dinner, and they won't even take a stove with them. But then in America, when it's really, really hot, you're not going to want a hot meal, and all you're after is just the calories and the protein.
You've got to enjoy it. I can't have that. You've got to enjoy it. And you can have your dry meals.
It's psychological, definitely. Yeah, for morale, absolutely.
Yes, Steve, soaking is wrong.
Yeah, soaking is just that's just another level of insanity.
I can understand it to a point with the breakfast oats. Do them in the morning, so you're up nice and early. You haven't got to fuck about. But an evening meal, you need to take it.
Yeah, something just warm.
Yeah.
Fresh fish caught is an opinion, yeah, but in the UK, there's not that many fresh fish you can catch.
See, I could do a lot more of it.
Especially sea fishing in the UK is very difficult. Why'd you laugh, Lee?
I don't know, mate. I've been that flight of fish we ate.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard to find. If you're going to go off and you're going to think, okay, I'm going to go and hunt this and hunt that and hunt this and hunt that, you're both basically going to be disappointed. Now, I've gone into woodland where there's been loads of pheasants and pigeons, and I've not caught a bloody thing. And then you end up not eating anything.
Yeah, but if we'd have both split up, we'd have done better.
Yeah,
100%.
Something like an air rifle would have.
Snares, traps, ferrets. We had so many options available to us.
Yeah.
But do you? And this is because it's only 3 days. We ain't gonna die. We know we ain't gonna die. First night we ain't.
Exactly. Yeah.
Was a washout. So do you then try something new or just stick with it? Because you only got one more meal to find. You know what I mean? So we stuck with it.
Yeah, I think definitely we should have pushed more on the coastal stuff. So fishing and limpets. We could have picked way more limpets. We could have picked loads of seaweed. You know, there was options there, but it was the time of year and there wasn't really that much around. You know, who wants to go forage in December? Oh yeah, it was you.
Did you have a good time?
You plonker.
See, I would love to do a 10-day, 30-day one where you're proper, but you'd need to have a base camp. It's definitely something I'm going to try and figure out.
Yeah, you need permission. You'd need a permission to hunt stuff. You'd need a permission to put out snares.
Also, as well, when you look at this Fowler's Makery and Mischief and stuff, for us to go somewhere where you can actually catch something to eat, like a pigeon or whatever, to then go somewhere where you've got to stand a chance of getting a big crab, or you're talking a 10, 15-mile walk. Yeah. So you've lost hours there to maybe catch that. You've got the tides and that. When he goes, he's in forest with lakes and he's got all sorts there.
Yeah.
You don't have it in this country. It's now.
No, we haven't got that kind of wild area. Now, we could have taken more fishing rods. We could have taken snares. It was just. But UK is a bit different.
Yeah. Steve Salazar. Sorry, I'm never going to get that name right, Steve. Salah. Yes. Zalay. Steve. 10 days scares me. Coast to coast is just relentless. 4 or 5 days, lightweight, Ridgeway, South Downs, perfect. Well, I would say, Steve, it is tough if you do it in 10 days. I'm not going to lie to you. Once again, I would have found it much easier if my feet hadn't gone the way they did. But I wouldn't let it scare you, mate. It is thoroughly rewarding and achievable for most.
Yeah.
As long as you've got a bit of, as long as your head's in the right place. Because I'm telling you now, one of the blokes I walked with said it was his second time of doing it because he turned his ankle on the first time on the second day. I would have done it on that first day. But there would be no need. It's only me being a dickhead. He had the right idea. He come back, done it, fit and healthy, and he was in a much better state than I was at the end. But I've still done it. So don't be scared of it, mate. Get it done. Get it in the book. You'll love it. It really is. I got emotional on one of the days. Proper started tearing up and all sorts of crap.
Oh.
Well, it takes it out of you. It's good. Give it a crack, mate. I actually got my dick stuck in the tent door.
I expect I'll resort to cannibalism by the second night. So no, seriously, right? So when the shit hits the fan, I'm going to put a sign above my front door saying free Wi-Fi. Anyone who walks in gets bopped on the head. That's straight in the freezer.
Yeah.
Hayes is good with his coastal foraging. Yeah, he does. He is really cool when he's dragging out lobsters and crayfish and God knows what else.
See, now we could have done that here. Genuinely, we could have done. If that was our target species, because I've got all the pots, I've got all the nets, I've got all everything.
Different time of year. If we'd have been August, late September, we could have had foraging. Oh my God, we'd have had so much coming out. We'd have blackberries and berries and.
See you later, Chris.
See you, Chris. Love you.
No, I didn't. Steve, I'm sorry, dude. Is he the bloke that used to do the South Downs and stuff like that? I think I might have seen him a few times, but I haven't seen him on the PCT.
Pacific
Coastal Trail or something like that.
Yeah. Man Stuff TV. Hi, Ant. You're all right.
How long you been lurking?
Yeah, he's been strumming in the background.
Zulu.
All good. Ta.
Come then. What's the next subject? Bleed now. It's nearly 11 o'clock. We've still got 30 viewers. I can't shut it down for 30 viewers, can I?
No, we can't. We can't disappoint you guys.
Yeah, but
just finished watching Bruce's sheaf video. Is that the one on Pornhub? Different sheaf. Sorry. Condoms are for pussies.
Do you know 25% of Britons use condoms? Which means 75% of us are still pretty cool.
Oh, Sean. How dare you?
Did you hear about Anne?
What about him?
He successfully just broke 48 eggs in a minute with his head.
Yeah.
And has now been officially inducted into the Guinness Book of fucking retards.
It's not bad. Look, I've got a problem. His butt was broken.
You want the proper stuff?
No, I'm drinking Tamov vodka triple distilled. Thank you.
Vodka.
Look at that.
Don't do vodka, mate.
I, invite, I invited my apprentice round to puppy sit while I was away, and she left that bottle there, so drinking it.
You spanked it.
Yeah.
Good man.
Right. And I'm having it with Aldi Lilt, basically. Oh, God. There we go.
Vodka and Lilt.
Tropical Blast. Yeah, vodka and Lilt.
Vodka and bloody Lilt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you got tracky bottoms on?
No, I've got jeans on.
What's going to have to get my catapult out and go champing?
Oh, yeah. Have you done many bothies in Scotland?
Not a one really want to.
No, I've never done a bothy camp. I've been in. I use bothies kind of like to like lunch breaks and stuff. But I've never slept in a bothy overnight. I found an amazing bothy over in the Black Mountains. Oh my god, that was so cool. So you had a little bothy, it had a wood burner in it, had a bed, and then you had a ladder going upstairs, and there was like 3 people could sleep upstairs. It was just so picturesque. This tiny little, I think it was like an old pump house or something, but it was like so cool. If the weather turned really crap, I would love to camp in that one. But me and my apprentice, we was like, I was taking her out to try and get some mountain days and stuff. But we stopped in there and had lunch. It was just like such a cool little bothy. Lingy Hut as well up in the Lake District. But yeah, there's bothies all over the place, but they don't really advertise them unless you go onto the bothy websites. They won't show them up on a map. But yeah, bothy camping is the way to go.
No, definitely want to book some of that in. Do you both bring radios or prefer the sound of nature and werewolves at night? I love a podcast when I drift off. I'm a raging insomniac, so I don't sleep the best anyway. I've got to be listening to some shit about some shit to be going to sleep. So I've either got some music on or, yeah, just on my phone.
Yeah, I usually go for an audio book because then I can't hear the kids screaming in the background saying, "Help, Bruce! Help! Help! I'm on fire! Help!" So yeah, I could just go to sleep. But yeah, audio books, get an Audible account, or podcasts, podcasts on Spotify. If you haven't listened to it, podcast, No Such Thing as a Fish. It's just amazing. Have you heard of that, Lee?
I do know about that, yeah. Well, I know about Empire QI. I don't know if it.
Right, so QI, the TV show, the QI elves, the people who come up with all the questions and shite, had their own podcast called No Such Thing as a Fish, and they just come up with interesting, random crap. But it's that kind of learning you do without trying to learn, and you just listen to it and you think, actually, that's a really interesting fact. Yeah, just pretty cool.
Where are we? Who needs Scotland when you've got the Isle of Wight? Well, it is lovely, mate. I mean, you was down Totland not so long back. Might have been today. I do love the place, but you are very limited here. I mean, you can't really get any altitude, and everywhere's home, so it can be a bit of a nightmare to some of the spots that you want to camp and get the beautiful sunrise and stuff. Do love it though; it's brilliant. What are we? Egghead. I'm so bored. Great Scottish camper really passed away. Head for the hills. Did some great bothy camps. Just realised I was actually reading that to myself. I was just mumbling to people then when I.
Scottish camper, was he the one who was always cooking like loads of sausages and stuff?
That was Scott's Wild Camper, wasn't it?
I don't know. Recently passed away. New Forest Gump. More information, please.
It is that itchy, yeah. I do try and make myself as unapproachable as possible when I'm out. I'm a joy to be around, let's face it. But yeah. And
Yeah,
go on.
Isle of Wight is a really strange place to get to because I was just following SatNav from Nobby's instructions, and to get to the ferry, it's just like, are you sure it's here? And then you just do one turn in, and you're there, and you're like, it makes no sense. Whereas I'm from near Harwich, where we've got loads of ports there, and it's like massively built up, and you would totally know that you're near a port. But yeah, it's a bit strange, Isle of Wight.
No, it's definitely strange.
Yeah, it was a bit, but no, it was properly good camp.
Have you ever camped outside the UK? Yeah, all over the place, mate. What have I done? Canada, Poland.
Nice.
Well, I've been all over. On you. My sort of camping wasn't, if you're talking about for a hobby, then no, not a great deal. I really want to do more. Want to do a lot more. There's loads of stuff I want to do.
Yeah, I really want to go Canada. Canada just seems like the place to be.
See, once again, I did see a bit of it. I've been to Whistler and all that sort of stuff. But the place I was just a training ground. It's a prairie. And there's nothing exciting on the prairie.
Head for the Hills YouTube channel died recently. Oh, shit.
Who is it?
Head for the Hills YouTube channel.
That was... Ain't good, is it?
No, gutted.
It was Bass, yes. Steve knows.
Would you prefer Lake District or Peak District? Lake District. Lake District kicks Peak District in the dick.
Never done the Peak, so I'm going to say Lakes. Oh, no, I must have done.
Yeah, no, Peak District's all right, but it's not qualified. It doesn't qualify you for a quality mountain day. So if you're going for your mountain leader, you can't get QMDs going in the Peak District. The Peak District has peaks. No, sorry, the Peak District has lakes, and the Lake District has peaks.
So, with the sin bin, do you remember Cheaters? Open your box, take me money. That'd be a private thing between me and Steve. The rest of you carry on.
No idea what you're talking about.
It's Batters's.
Oh, Itchy Feet is going to bed.
Ta-da! Yeah, Batters in Canada is the training exercise, and the sin bin was a bar in Medicine Hat, which is the place where you do your. And then there's other bars. Gas Lamp was another one.
Okay. New Forest, I heard, is very strict. Yeah, if you dream of Canada, northern New York. So I've got a mate who lives in Nova Scotia, and I'd like to go and over and have a camp with him, but he's still talking £400 just for the plane.
I'm going to have to doff my cap there, Steve, by the way. He'll understand why I can't mention what the cigarettes, lighters and Loomis means, because I think I may get taken off of YouTube. I don't know Steve either. It's just, he knows what it's all about.
Does he really?
Yes, he does. New Forest is pretty strict apparently, but I've seen a couple of people camp there. I didn't intend on going out. I might even do a little thing around there and find a little space. There's always spots everywhere you go. You just got to be discreet, ain't you?
Yeah, and it's that being discreet and being respectful as well.
Yeah, it is that.
Leave no trace.
Leave it better than when you turned up.
Yeah.
Reeler was over in Canada, was it Montana recently? I know he's thinking about getting over there full time, and it did look awesome.
Any problems while camping on the Ridgeway? No. Been to Nova Scotia. It's beautiful, pleasant in the Maritimes.
The Ridgeway, I know that lots of people do. Sandy does, the Wiltshire man. Yeah, loads of people do it, I believe. They do it when they walk the Ridgeway. People wild camp and walk that at the same time. Never have. But maybe I might. Oh, full bottle of mead.
Yeah, I'd like to go to Nova Scotia. I'd like to live in Nova Scotia because this Scarfo run Carsey that we're in at the moment is a bit. Montana is beyond awesome.
To be fair, it did look it.
Yeah. Yeah, anywhere than here, because I live in bloody Essex, and it's like the flattest place in the world, and I'm a mountain leader, which is just depressing. So if I want to get a mountain, I've got 6 hours travel before I can get to South Wales, North Wales, or Lake District. Now I could go Peak District, but it's just not the same, is it?
Have a good night, Anne.
Now Ant's off to bed. Brave in the shed, attacking it again tomorrow.
Like this is how slow I'm becoming. I'm going to have to get myself checked. I've only just realised that New Forest Gump was from the New Forest and wasn't a new version of Forrest Gump. Norwegian Air. I flew London, New York for $239.
Nice. That's not bad, is it?
That really ain't bad, is it?
Yeah. So I'm supposed to be off to Romania soon. There's Erasmus, which is a European funded thing. So I've been to Cyprus teaching bushcraft to Cypriot people. And then I'm supposed to go to Romania and Italy and Ireland. But obviously with this COVID-19 thing, that's all been knocked into a bit of a cocked hat, especially going to Italy. So we will see what transpires. But
I drove to Yellowstone from Medicine Hat. Montana was superb. Where the prairie meets the Rockies, it's full of Lewis and Clark stories. You feel like you were seeing what they saw 200 years ago.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds amazing. I'd love to go to Yellowstone. Yellowstone before it blows up into a supermassive volcano.
Totally, isn't it? At the moment.
Would you do an urban stealth camp, men? That's basically sleeping rough. Yes.
See, I've thought about it recently, maybe doing like I know, roundabout camp or something like that. But I enjoy camping. I don't enjoy hiding.
Yeah. See, we had an idea a few years ago of doing a urban camp, but have boxes of gloves, hats, blankets. Go down the army surplus and just go and buy sets of hats and blankets and sleeping bags and whatever, and just give them out to the homeless people. But it would be more of a thing in London. But the big deterrent is it's not something you can do on your own because you get stabbed.
It's not so much that either. I used to. We've got a mobile soup kitchen over here, and I used to donate any pheasants and stuff.
Yeah.
And he says he makes sure that he only feeds them like every other day. Otherwise, they become dependent on him.
Yeah.
He says you've got to do it. So, although it's a nice thing to do, it doesn't actually benefit them as much as you think.
Yeah.
Horrible to be shit like that, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. the thing is, right, the UK is one of the richest countries in the world. With COVID-19, they've said all the homeless people need to be off the street. And guess what? They're off the street like
Yeah.
that. Because someone said they need to be off the street. It's done. They're off the street. They're not out there spreading the dirty virus. Why didn't we do that 10 years ago?
Well, it's not political channel, Bruce. We all know the answer.
Damn those Tories, and damn those Labours, and damn those Liberals, and damn those every other.
We'll cover it. Politicians will cover it.
Damn them all.
Yeah. I'm originally from Ireland. Got to go. Just got to do Donegal. Wild Atlantic is. Mate, I'd love to do Donegal. There are some absolutely gorgeous places in our little area that I'd love to visit.
Yeah, there's some wicked mountains in Ireland as well, in southern Ireland.
See, that's the thing. I'd love the thought. I wonder how I'd kip if I went to, where's that? Boundary Waters, Canuga, or knowing that there was coyotes, wolves wouldn't really bother me, neither would the moose and deer. I know they can still leave room for a scab. Don't think it'd bother me. I'd have to go with someone that knew what they was doing because I ain't shooting a bear, mate. It just ain't happening. The bear's winning every time.
No, it depends what bears are. Grizzly will fuck you up. But black bears, they're generally just bin tippers. They're a pain in the arse.
A grizzly will hold your head down and eat your guts while you're alive.
Yeah, grizzly will cuff you up. But
that's worse than waking up next to Gemma Collins.
Yeah.
That's up there with being fucking taken to a surprise date by the wife and ending up in a Celine Dion concert.
True. Right. I need a piss.
You enjoy that.
Right. Hold the thought for a second.
Look at the poor old git. Italy gave away their cheese mountains to the population and no one went to work. Country ground to a halt, bleed now. Italy's also, well, not at the moment, but another place I want to see. There's loads of places. I want to go all over. Work stops you, doesn't it? Work and being skint all the bleeding time. I've been close to a grizzly in a cage. It was the size of a van. Yeah, mate, they're serious bleeding animals, they are. Do you know the infection rate with koala bears and chlamydia is 100%? You think about that. 100% fucking koalas have chlamydia. Well, you know, I'd like to think so, but I think a bear would still feck me. Those locks are beautiful up in Scotland. I used to go to Scotland every year and just rent a cottage and disappear into a wild camp while we were up there. Definitely going to start doing it again. We did start going to other places like Dartmoor and that, you know, just mix it up a bit. But Scotland is beautiful. What we got? Nobby, when I say New York, what comes to mind? I know that you have got some lovely, lovely, lovely scenery out there. Obviously, the main bit of New York is buzzing, but I know you've got plenty on the outskirts, mate. He's back, look.
Hey. Do you miss me?
Nah.
Oh. When you say New York, what comes to mind? 9/11.
Whereabouts in New York do you live then, Loafer? I've seen you on Kev's channel explaining it a bit, but
I love Bruce's wallpaper. Yeah, check that out. Look, trees, man. Look at that. That silver trees.
to be fair, it's better than your face.
True. Okay. Happy with that?
Much better.
Yeah, look at me Artex. Look, there you go.
Fucking hell, mate. Whoever thought of that?
Oh,
150 miles north. How big is that place? There
yeah,
is.
it's really strange in America because their cities just are conurbations. They just spread out flat.
Mm.
So they just take up so much space. Yeah, some places that I've been to Texas and they're like you can't walk anywhere. You just have to drive because everything's just so vast. It's really weird. Jacklaw knives made by Wiltshire man Sandy. Yes, Sandy makes amazing knives.
So I'll be able to tell you about that. He's just put a video up about it. Sandy just sent him another one.
Who's that?
Reeler Brand. Who's just done a video about his Jacklaw.
Yeah.
He's a mate of Sandy's. He's got a couple of them. I've got a knife on the way though, so I'm happy as fuck.
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
You're not backing out, are you?
What?
Huh?
What are you talking about?
Talk about the knife from you.
Oh, that one, yeah. Yeah, but that's crap. This isn't like Jacklaw standard. Sandy actually knows what he's doing.
I've got a homemade tool, mate. I'm made up.
True.
Steve's off. As soon as we drop below 20, I'm going to have to call it.
Sandy sent me a classic he couldn't sell. Nothing wrong with it. Well,
Yeah,
lucky
I've watched the vid, mate. You look
you.
mint.
No, very cool. Night fellas.
See, I'm not a big knife man. I do like it.
Best budget night. I can't afford a TBS and such. Get a Mora.
Can't argue with a Mora. As I say, Holford's working knife again. Same as a Mora. Big, heavy.
Yeah, Holty 4 is heavy duty. That's pretty decent. Depends what you want. It's whether you want stainless steel or carbon. Stainless steel, you can chuck in the dishwasher and it's done, but harder to sharpen. Really entertaining, very educational, but got to hit the sack.
Have a good one, Gump.
See you later, dude.
And he's at the 19. Oh, he's got up 21.
As long as your knife is sharp, it's okay, Bruce. Yeah, exactly. What's the best knife you can have? The one that you've got. The knife you've got with you. If you've got a Swiss Army knife, that's the best knife.
Yeah.
If you've got a Mora, that's the best knife. You know, it's horses for courses. But most of the time, your knife that you spend a couple of £100 on is going to be used to open boxes that contain other knives. It's true. So, you go and buy yourself a Mora and you go on board with a Mora. I'm going to buy more knives. Oh, I'll keep a knife handy so I can open the box when it comes from Amazon. But making your own knife is kind of a rite of passage. But at the end of the day, it's going to be shite. It's not going to be anywhere as good as a Mora or anything else you could buy from someone who makes it professionally.
How long would that knife last just wear and tear around a camp?
Well, your one,
Yeah.
It feels pretty good. It does feel pretty good. It's just whether how long it retains the edge and whether you can carry on sharpening it. But it should be pretty good. It should last as well as any other knife. But I haven't got any way of testing the hardness of it. So you really need a Rockwell of about 62 hardness, but I've no idea. I've no idea.
Right, guys, if that 19 figure now, I really don't want to leave it when there's still people watching, but we've been going for the best part of 3 hours. So, yeah.
I've still got some drink. Oh.
I'd like to thank you all for popping by. And I hope you're all staying safe. We'll do it again soon.
Yeah, very soon, because I think we should do this like weekly. At least weekly, because these poor people are miserable, sitting at home, staring at the walls, can't go camping.
Yeah, there's fuck all better to watch than us.
And I need an excuse to get pissed.
That I'm liking your thinking. That ain't bad.
But no, guys, seriously, give me a comment and click that bell icon so you know when I've got a new video up. Because whenever me or Lee do a video, it's all down to comments. If you don't get the comments and you don't get the likes, YouTube won't promote it. So we're just dead in the water. It's a waste of time. So if you guys comment and you like and you let us know what you like, then we can tailor our videos to suit you guys what you want to see. If you want to know about sleeping bags, we'll talk about bloody sleeping bags. If you want to know about whatever. Yeah, but we need to be guided by our subscribers, and that is the main thing that sort of keeps us going. Okay, so anything else you want to say, Lee, before you wrap it all up?
What he said.
You're not, yeah, you knob. You're like, fucking.
Guys, it's been a pleasure. All stay safe. Ta-ra!
See you guys. Nice chat. Stay.